nothing like those wild parties. All I did was drink and party and go to rock concerts.
So I got VIP access to a certain very hot rock star's room.
This was getting a little intense for my liking.
What's your problem?
Okay.
Look, bitch, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no better than the rest of us.
Hey, come on, you gotta go. I'll call you.
Hey, what would you say if I were to tell you that rock stars like Terry would pay for your attention and you would be a multi-millionaire because of it?
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Dupree, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
This is Vicky Judy. Orange is the new black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Frida Park. You are listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
And nothing less. What's up? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I am the Director. We'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. And Real Talk is brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media. And we broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV and the social network itself, Facebook, aka Meta, and of course Twitter. So welcome back to another Monday edition. It's the 21st of February. It's like President's Day or something like that. I don't celebrate it, but hey, if you had the day off, God bless. Enjoy. Hope you enjoyed your days off and get ready to go back and to your work and everything on Tuesday. But sit back, chill, and listen. Let us talk a little movie-ish here on Real Talk with us. Today we got a pretty packed night. We got a few things to cover. So I'm not going to, take too long to get to the point. So we'll go right to Box Office Mojo and talk about last weekend box office numbers. Coming in at number one, Uncharted. Uncharted is ranked in $43 million dollars and 43 million. That's the Tom Holland led film Uncharted, which is obviously based on the video game, and 43 million weekend box office. All right. That was of course internationally it raked in more. Tom Holland's international star. And I'm just calling it, international star. And then worldwide right now we're at 139 million. So you're at 88 million internationally. Number two was Dog, 14.9 million. 14.9 million. And right behind that is Spider-Man. No Way Home, $7.7 million. And Death on the Nile, $6.5 million. Followed by Jackass Forever, which is the latest installment of the Jackass film series. So there you have it. That's the top 5. They raked in another 5.2 million, which brings their worldwide total to 60 million. At 13 million 13 million international. So that brings that gets that. So there you have it for Jackass Forever. That's like the final installment in the Jackass film series. Death on the Nile, brought in like another 5 point something million, and they're at 76 million worldwide. So here's the deal, looking at the box office numbers, it's clear that although we've been fortunate enough to have some good, like Spider-Man No Way Home just really performed out of this world. But the bottom line is the numbers are not back when it comes to the numbers aren't back when it comes to movie stuff, the theaters. We were still in the pandemic, and there's still going to be lower numbers when it comes to the theaters, because like we said, Spider-Man No Way Home is an exception to the rule. It's a Marvel movie, Spider-Man movie, from the Avengers saga, and everybody was waiting on that. Now I believe Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is going to do just as well as Spider-Man because they're connected, right? So, you got Spider-Man still raking in, $8 million. It's at $1.8 billion worldwide gross. And, it opened in 4,000 some odd theaters. So, that was a big success. But most of these films, like I said, Uncharted made, 43, domestically, it's like, it opened at 43 million, but it opened in 4,200 and something theaters. So that's not like, it's decent, but domestically it's at 51 million domestic. It made most of its money overseas, right? And because people are going to theaters a little more internationally overseas, because hell, I just read an article where over in Europe or whatever, they're going to start, they're starting to approach the COVID pandemic as well. We just got to live with it. They're doing a live with it approach. So pretty soon overseas, or I believe Europe, or I'll double check the exact country, but they're going to be like, well, you got COVID, you just got COVID. They're not even going to make people isolate anymore. So it's like, you knew one of them was going to do it eventually. I thought the United States probably be the first country to do that. They just live with it. But yeah, starting very soon, there's going to be like overseas, they're going to be like, oh, well, you don't even have to quarantine, even if you test positive for COVID. Like they don't care. So there you have it. But that's pretty much how, the box office. Yes, it has made a nice comeback, and trust me, I know it has, because I have some stock in some of these movie companies and things of that nature. So I see the stocks going up and down and flowing, and IMAX stocks is up, and so is AMC. But the thing is, it's still not back yet. And these numbers prove it because, Uncharted being, you know, like I said, 43 million opening, not, crazy, terrible, but, you know, if it's not a Marvel film, as of right now, it's not really kicking out the box office right now. Multiverse of Madness will do well because it's connected to Spider-Man and things like that, so we'll be fine. So we'll talk more about it, and as I bring in my co-hosts and the Jedi Council and stuff. Yeah, so that is the weekend box office. Weekend box office from boxofficemojo.com for the weekend of February 18th through the 20th. And thank you. We want to thank everyone again for joining us in the chat room. Big up. We left a poll in the chat room. How are y'all feeling about the new Bel Air show? Fill it out. Do you like it? Yes or no? Kept it simple. Either it's yes, no, and it's just okay. Those are the three options. So either you think it's good, you like it, you don't like it, or you don't really care. It's okay. So fill that poll out. Big up to Joseph Tanner and everyone else who comes through. We appreciate you. Listening to Real Talk with Jedi Council and the director, and I am the director. And I bought my Jedi Council. What? So, you don't believe me? Well, here's Ralph. At least one of them. Ralph, what's going on?
What's going on, everybody? Happy President's Day.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I didn't even know it was a holiday today.
Yeah, right. I'm just like, whoever got off, that's good for
I'm like, is it really one? I know. Isn't it like one of the holidays that doesn't really count?
Probably, yeah. President's Day, like, so who cares, Yeah. Well, joining us also this week again, coming back with us, we're having our, we've been doing female guest hosts, trying to kind of find us with the search for our female co-host, female Jedi Council member, and young lady coming back to hang out with us for a little bit. She's an actress and model, and she's doing her thing right now. She's in, obviously, you actually saw her probably at the top of the show because we play her commercial every week. So she was doing her thing. So, groupie, coming soon. The blueprint of a self-made millionaire. Definitely, we'll keep you posted and check that out. But she's also going to be starring in a new series that she's working on. I believe we'll have the filmmaker on today and talk to him about that as well. And everybody, welcome back, Miss Lex Calderon. What's up? Welcome back.
Hello.
What's going on, girl?
Hello.
Hey. I'm not on camera because I still look like I'm recovering from COVID.
Oh my god! But
So,
you're okay, right?
I'm okay. I'm just saying. I'm just letting people know. People are like, why the hell are you on camera? I'm not on camera today because I still look like. I've been out of the hospital since Super Bowl Sunday, but I still look like I just walked out the hospital. So it's just like, it's like grizzly bear. All types of blemishes on my face. All types. It's bad. But it's definitely a face for radio today. So
it just sucks.
But I'm all good. Thanks. Welcome back. How's everything going down there in South Florida?
Everything's going good. Filming is going great here in Miami. I'm happy. I'm thriving. I'm doing well, and yeah, it's good.
That's all you can ask for, right? That's
right?
all you can ask for. You doing your thing. You working. You You're filming. This is your dream, right? You live the dream.
Right?
That's how you do it, man. So we appreciate you coming back, and we applaud you for doing your thing and being on your grind. Um, I want to jump into some of these trending topics that's going on. I'm doing it a little bit out of order because since you are a working actress and you doing your thing, let's kind of talk a little bit about. I hate to start it so grim, but the actress that was found earlier this week, actor Lindsay Perlman,
Yeah.
found dead in after being missing for 5 days. It's there's no reports on what how it there's definitely suspected foul play, but nothing yet. The reason why I even brought it up, first of all, I want to say rest in peace to her, and my condolences from the show to her family and friends and loved ones. But I thought it was important to bring it up because you know being a working actress or any type, working anything as a female in the business, sometimes you got to do a lot of traveling by yourself and things like that, and it's really important to highlight points of trying to of safety,
Oh
red
my.
flags, things that you shouldn't, that you may want to avoid if you walk into a situation. So you as a working actress and a model, especially on the model side, this business is crazy,
Oh yeah.
especially on the model side.
Hmm.
So when you walk into a situation, I don't know if I don't know if hopefully you haven't had any red flag opportunities where you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this, or because I see how you roll. You a trooper, like you roll dolo. It's like you go up and be like, yo, you about to work. So I
Yes.
see how you get down. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I worry for you sometimes. You know, I'm just like, yo, because you're like this little thing, and I'm just like, yo, I hope you carry like a gun or something.
Everybody, Wes, everybody tells me that. They're
Damn.
like, Lexi, you need a gun. You need a taser. You need
Yeah, you need
something.
something,
Because
a
I am
taser, some
small.
pepper
I'm
spray or
small.
something.
Pepper spray.
Pepper
So,
spray, something,
pepper
man.
spray, something. I'm told. I've really been told
Brass
that. And
knuckles, something.
Yeah.
yeah. And I was, I'm moving to Atlanta too, and I heard like you need it. Like, girl, if you're gonna go there, you
Yeah.
freaking need a gun.
Well, you
Like,
might as well. It's a carry state. You can get a gun in Georgia.
yes.
So, you may want to, because honestly, it's so tragic. Things like this is so disheartening. And just breaking news as we were like logging on and the show was starting. Um, let's see. Jada Benjamin,
I
who
saw.
a young
Yeah.
young lady who was in the show Family Reunion, was that a show or a film? I think that might have been a film. All right, Family Reunion actress Jada Benjamin missing. All right, so now she's missing. She's been reported missing last since the 19th. So here we go again. This is a young 27-year-old actress, and now
Mhm.
somewhere she was reported last seen somewhere near Studio City in California, the Studio City area,
Right.
and between like Ventura Boulevard and somewhere else. They said, let me see if they have the detail there. Blah blah blah
Say
blah.
Jada Benson.
Her name is Jada Benjamin.
Yeah. Let me have it. Hold on.
Jada Benjamin. She is a young 27-year-old actress. She was in the film. She was in the show Family Reunion. That's the show that she kind of. I'm trying to look up her IMDb and see what else she's been in, but that's the show she's, I guess, known for. And right now, it was just reported that she is. I guess she's credited as Jada Iman Benjamin.
So do you
And
think like people are being targeted right now? Because like
I don't
this
know. I
happened.
don't know. It's very. I wouldn't put it past. That's what I mean. It seems very. It's a good point that a good question you asked that. It seems
Yeah,
weird, man. That like, why are people being targeted? It feels like they're being
it
targeted, right?
feels
The
like
young,
that. Like it's
especially. I hate to say it, especially the young black actresses and models. It seems like
no
they are
true,
being
true.
targeted, and it's just like it's very worrisome. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
here's a little quick filmography. She's been in Family Reunion was a TV series. Okay, she's been in some films, doing her thing. Criminal Minds on the show. So she's a working actress, right? So
right.
young, and we sure hope that she turns up okay. We are, we'll keep everyone posted on any information we might find out. We'll try to keep posting stuff and and see what happens, man. But let's
Yeah,
just everybody say a prayer for
I was
Miss
just gonna say.
Benjamin, to see if make sure she turns up unharmed.
Mhm.
Maybe she just maybe she just needed a break. Maybe she needed to
I
get
hope so.
away.
I
I
hope
just hope it's something that she decided. I hope that's something she decided to do, and it's nothing like any craziness going on. But yeah. So with that said, just wanted to I turned it around a little bit to kind of like get that in there. There's a couple other things. So also, well, speaking of wrongful deaths and all that stuff from the other one, uh, so there's a wrongful death lawsuit being
Mhm.
being done, which everyone saw that coming.
Yeah,
Wrongful death lawsuit by the estate of Helena Hutchins, right?
right.
Um, because of the whole suing the Rust, the producers of Rust. This is something everyone, Stevie Wonder saw this coming. So I mean, it's just like, come on.
You're wrong for that.
I'm just saying. um, sorry, Stevie, but yeah, this was all right. This thing is so. It says here's a related story that says Alec Baldwin and the other Rust producers want suit over fatal shooting tossed out. Now, come on,
That's not gonna
uh,
happen.
that's not happening,
Somebody died.
brother.
Hello. Like
Yeah,
what? There's
exactly.
no way.
Someone died, and I believe it was definitely wrongful. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just pony up the bread, my people,
You know what
and
gets
just
me too is that
go
he's literally taking no responsibility whatsoever. Like that really
It's
rubs me the wrong way. Like you had the
yeah,
gun in your
that's
hand.
weird. Yeah, I mean, he had it. It's so we talked about this so many times. We
Yeah.
we analyzed this thing so many times, and it's so unfortunate and weird. And I think anything that Alec Baldwin might at this point, his lawyers are probably just telling him, "Shut up, shut up, shut up,
Yeah.
shut up,"
Yeah.
and let us handle it. Because the more you open your mouth, the deeper things can get for you. He has shown remorse, though. He has, he's done interviews and he's shown remorse. I know he has remorse. But I think at this point now it becomes just purely business, not
Yeah.
business, but purely
Just all
legal
legality
business.
at
Yeah,
that point. Yeah.
and it's just like just be quiet. Let the lawyers are gonna do. And some of these lawyers, boy, there's some real scums, man, because like these lawyers are actually targeting some of like former employees of the project that walked out because of the safety hazards. The
Really?
people that walked out on the project before the shooting even happened because they knew that the production wasn't following the safety protocols.
Yeah, so
And
you
yeah,
mentioned that too. They showed and there's the article that you sent me. They showed
mhm.
that video That
Yeah.
video like reenactment.
The
Totally.
reenactment. That was
Yeah.
whack, yo. Like, what the hell are they
Dude.
doing? They did like a reenactment video.
Yeah. And
Like,
I remember from the video, like there were a lot of messages from like people who were part of the production, like expressing concern,
yeah.
and like people were going back and forth saying like, hey, like this isn't right, like somebody needs to do something, like I'm really upset about this,
Yeah.
but the video
I mean,
itself was weird.
yeah, why would you do that? Like, I wasn't feeling that at all, man. It was cringeworthy actually. To
Can you even use something like that in court? Like, is that viable?
yeah, because it's almost like it's just a digital version. Because you know how
Yeah.
like they used to use like toys, not toys, but what's the word I'm looking for?
Dolls?
Replicas, like
Like
replicas. They
models.
would use like models, yeah, model doll. So if it's like they trying to reenact a crime scene, they'll have like a model replica of the apartment with little men, little people, stuff like that. So they do it like that. This is just a digital version of it, that they did. I mean, it definitely can be used in court because it gives you a visual of what basically happened, where everyone was placed and standing at the time. So it does give you a good visual, but it's just so, I don't know. It feels weird.
Like raw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels weird. But I mean, and then unfortunately, this woman's family is gonna have to witness that
I heard she had
reenactment.
like a little boy, right?
Yeah, yeah, husband and a child. You know, it's just so unfortunate everything that about this case, but when it boils down to it, I don't know, man. It's like I said, I pray that anyone, myself or anyone I know, is never in a situation like this.
Right.
But it's like, yo, listen, just take care of this family, man. It shouldn't have to come. A lawsuit shouldn't even have to happen. It should be like, let's sit down and let's get what you need, and
Let's do the
let's get
right
it
thing.
done. Yeah, right. Let's do the right thing. Let's get it done. Because why should you have to sue anybody for anything unless, it should never have to, something like this is truly an accident. It should never have to come to them trying to sue you for money
Right.
ever. First of all, if they had proper insurance on their production, they would have money to give them. So it's just that plain simple.
Yeah, this
Yo,
whole production just sounds like a train wreck. Like
Yo,
a
it
literal.
was it was a train wreck safety wise. They didn't have all their permits in place. They didn't have all of their insurances in place. Because, I mean, any production, and trust me, this is what we do here. We independent filmmakers, right? This is what we do. The one thing that independent filmmakers do have a tendency to overlook sometimes are insurances. But the thing is, I have colleagues that didn't have insurance, and then things happen, and it's like really cost them, like, a lot of their company, their livelihood, because they got sued. So you have to have liability insurance. And I mean, the minimum is like $2 million that you have to have, to really do like a shoot. So for something like depending on your budget, the budget of Rust, we're not sure of the exact budget, but they should have had a few million, at least 5 million probably in liability insurance.
And just the nature of the film, and there's going to be explosives, there's going to be
Right.
guns, you're going to have
Yeah,
to stay.
it's firearms, and you're cutting corners. You're hiring armorers that are not experienced enough. It's just really an unfortunate situation, and the fact that there was a ton of workers that walked out on the project even before that happened shows you that something wasn't right. And I believe this wrongful death lawsuit is going to be very quick and swift, and I believe it's just gonna, they're gonna have to pay up to pay, and
100%.
continuing to fight it, to me, it was wrong. It's wrong. Just take care of it, you know.
I
So
agree completely.
yeah, cool. We have we got a guest today. Well, we have two guests. Obviously, you're our guest. Um, and it's cool. You put us on to a young filmmaker who's that you're working with at the
Mm-hmm.
moment, and which is cool, man. This is what we do here on Real Talk. We support independent filmmakers. We support all filmmakers, not just independent, but this is what we do. So what I'm going to do is, since that's your boy, you can introduce him, and we're gonna bring him on
Oh my
and,
goodness.
and talk some film stuff, man. This is what we love to do.
Well, then I guess I'll introduce you. The man,
Yeah.
the myth, the legend, AJ. Welcome to
AJ,
the game.
AJ, welcome to the show, man.
You guys can hear me?
Hello.
Yes, I hear you.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you for joining us last minute. We appreciate you. So first off, we want to just kind of like you could try to like introduce you to the our audience. Our audience, I'm gonna give you a quick little overview. A lot of people, our demographic is really like our world. The independent filmmakers world. We have a lot. That's big. That's our big demographic. We broadcast to a lot of different film groups and stuff like that. So this is these type of conversations are always interesting to our audience. So now you have it's a series, yes?
Yeah, we have a series that we're working on. We've been working on for a good amount of time now. Yeah, something that I'm guessing. I was hearing you guys talk a little bit. I'm guessing your audience is very much film people.
Yes,
very much
that's our demographic. The
film and TV. What's going
film,
on?
TV,
what's the
yeah,
latest?
exactly. And we love when we have interviews. We bring on filmmakers, and we really like to talk about everything. The behind the scenes or the development or whatever.
Yeah.
So, what I would like you to do is just, if you can, give us a little overview of the new series you got that you're working on.
So I've been working on this series called Jammers, right? And it's just give you the rundown of what it's about really quick. It's about a group of girls. They're part of a roller derby team, and they're in Miami, Florida, which brings its own trouble, and they sell drugs in Miami, Florida during this fentanyl spike, right? That's going on in the country. And it just has to do with them really, figuring out what it's young women, right? It's young Latina, Afro Latina, women of Miami, which is, I've been raised here my whole life. I wasn't born here, but I got here when I was around 3 years old.
Okay.
And it's just kind of like my experiences growing up to leading up to this fentanyl spike, right? That's in all these neighborhoods. I've had friends pass away, like multiple friends, some that are, you'd expect it, unfortunately, and some that, were geniuses that were getting their economics degree in FSU, and it's just a bad pill, a bad anything. And so, we're really hitting hard on the fentanyl stuff, but we're also doing this, kind of cool, essentially we want these girls to run their own cartel and figure out my girlfriend, my puppy just got home. We want these girls to run their own cartel and figure out the inner workings of, okay, where is all this coming from, right? Well, I happened to talk to some really important people in the government that kind of told me where this fentanyl and stuff come from, you know? So these girls will start finding that out, and that's how we tell our audiences, this is what's going on.
Oh, awesome. Well, that sounds very interesting. I like the premise of that. It's pretty cool, man. So let me ask you this. So how many characters, like, main characters do you have? Is it like a team of females?
We have 5 main protagonist females.
Okay, cool.
Lexi's one of them. She plays Lulu.
Right.
She's been,
Right.
you know, she's been on this project since 2018.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
That's awesome.
and yeah, you know, it's each one of them. I've been writing them for so long now, right? That each one of
Yeah.
them, they started off as these very, you know, like stereotype default characters, and slowly through the years, through just more experiences and stuff, you know, they
Evolve, yeah.
become these amazing characters that I, you know, I just like I'm like scratching like a crackhead. I can't wait to watch these characters on screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's I know that feeling.
So, but yeah, man, and you know, so my big thing was like, how can I get a female and male audience to just fall in love with this?
Yeah.
Right. And so females are going to love this. You know what I mean? This is a very, 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 you know, centered story. These girls are very, you know, like I pride myself on, you know, figuring out what is real dialogue. Right. So I'll have
Exactly.
a couple of girlfriends look over the dialogue and be like, yo, what is it that, how do you girls, because, you know, us boys talk a certain way and behind closed doors. And so that's what we want to see, right? How do these girls talk behind closed doors? One, be funny and stuff. So all that's in there. But then you also have this Breaking Bad element, right? This like cartel and these drug tests. So, you know, the fellas love that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, that's kind of our sales pitch was Breaking Bad meets Glow.
Cool. That's interesting. Breaking Bad meets Glow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, well, that's crazy. Well, I agree with you. So when it comes to writing these characters, man, and you know, you're developing them, and characters evolve. They always do when you're writing them. You know, scripts evolve. I always call it a living script. Like it grows, it evolves, right? So that's good. I mean, you've been working on it for a long time, and this is that. But that's filmmaking. Like these things don't happen overnight. So when it comes to, you know, getting your stuff and developing it from beginning to end. I mean, so now obviously, you know, obviously you are the creator and the writer and all of this stuff. I know you did mention that it kind of like inspired you. It kind of came from just things that you coming up. You said from that area. You always knew that you wanted to do it in the Miami area. Yes,
for sure.
Okay.
You know, I moved out to LA, which is where I found my partner, who was my producing partner, who was the reason why we're able to spearhead this the way that we are right now.
Awesome.
But even in LA, I was like, you know, this place is cool and all, but if people could just see a little bit of taste of back home where I grew up and the things that happen out there, you know. And so I had written this script out, and I was, you know, working with this friend of mine that I found in LA for a little bit. He lives out there, and a lot of people have been involved in, you know, like, you know, in development, in an independent way, right? Where you're not paying anybody, and then people are like, "Oh man, I really believe in this project," you know. So that was for 4 years of this, you know. And so he went over the dialogue, and he was like, "People don't talk like this," and I was like, "Dude, people in Miami talk like this." You know what I mean? Like it's just, I swear, he's like, "There's no way that, you know, there's no way they talk to each other. Like there's no way that these two guys would talk to each other like that." I'm like, "Yes, bro. They would talk to each other like that." You know, so it's that Miami essence that, you know, you come over here, everybody makes fun of Florida man, right? Everybody makes fun of Florida man, but you know, Florida man from Miami is a completely different human being, and he should be even made more fun of. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
Really I know that good point. My whole father's side of my family is from Miami, right? So you know, I know I've spent quite a bit of time down there, and I mean, it's great down there too. To show. I'm actually going to be shooting something on my series as well down there. One of the episodes,
it's awesome.
One of the characters, you know, it's from that area. So, you know, I never had the chance to shoot in Miami. I mean, you know, like shoot anything of mine. Like I've shot stuff for people down there, but you know, I do like look forward to shooting down there. But I agree with you. It's a whole different world. And the funny thing is, it's even different in different parts of Miami because You can go to Miami. Is like a freaking world trip. It really is. Like you can
Absolutely.
go to Little Havana. You
You go
could
to Little
go.
Havana, you go to Little
Yeah.
Haiti, you go to Sunny
Yep.
Isles, you go to
Yep.
Homestead. Those are 4 different types of people that you're going to
Four
interact
different
with.
types of people. Then you got exactly. Little Haiti. Oh my God. And then slide over to South Beach to Miami Beach, and it's a whole nother world again.
It's tourists and billionaires and So that's the main. That was my main focus, right? Is that like my whole life was me and my friends, and these in the I grew up on on the good side, right? Like I grew up in Collins, right? My whole life, like I was comfy, but it's not like
Collins, okay.
I was rolling in a Beamer, I didn't have like my first car wasn't anything crazy like that, so I was just comfy enough where I lived in a building, right? But all my friends were always from this place called 71st Street, right? And it was
I know it.
Packed immigrant, the small little immigrant city, and it's just like people from Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Cuba, you know what I mean? Like literally everywhere, and like they're not super rich over there, like either over there, right? So you have that right next to like billionaire playboys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and so you have the young people interacting with all that type of catastrophe that could ensue with all of this, with whatever.
It's so crazy. It's such a weird contrast too, because like what you're saying as you're talking, I'm imagining. I'm like, I know exactly what you're talking about, because you could literally walk from the hood to
you should have
like the hood
freaking
would like the hood. It's still a really nice place, but it's like lower income.
Right, but then you walk over to like where there's millionaires and billionaires.
His high school experience was crazy. Like, it's not to me. It doesn't sound real. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That happened in high school? What?
Wow.
Like,
I went to Miami Beach Senior High, which it's like 2 blocks away from the beach, and again, you have kids from Little Haiti and Little Havana. You know what I mean? Kids even like trekking out from Kendall sometimes. Messing with kids from Bay Harbor, which is like $500 million houses or whatever. Messing with kids all inside of one public school. Like for instance, my freshman year, there was a stabbing right outside of unfortunately someone was stabbed, and it kind of set the tone for the entire school year. Like we were like on this lockdown of they would try to lock us down more, and then we would just do more crazy things. Everybody, So I tell these stories, and Lexi, who she tells me she's her father's a pastor and stuff. She's appalled at these stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Me too. I'm a PK as well. The fun. It's fun, and like I said, my father, rest in peace. He's from the south part of Miami, like real south, like
Homestead.
He lived in Homestead. He actually he lived in a little town called Goose.
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 Yeah, I haven't heard of that. See, like I'm so mid-beach that like
Goose is right next to Homestead. Like Homestead is like the big town down there. I think they actually call it Cutler Bay now.
Okay, yeah, Cutler Bay, of course.
Cutler Bay, but the town was called Goose, and I'm saying like it's the hood. First of all, it's the country hood, right? But but yeah, so that whole area, Kendall area, all that stuff, but yeah, I know what you mean, man. This is Miami is a great backdrop for any series, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
because it's so versatile. Totally. It's so versatile. I did a series with I did this pilot for this best-selling author Kiki Swinson. It's called Playing Dirty, and the backdrop for it is Miami, and it's really. Like I said, that's the only thing. It's funny, as I said, I haven't shot Miami because we shot everywhere but Miami. When we shot that, it was hilarious. But I thank God we had a great set designer. It looked like we was in Miami.
See,
but we didn't get a chance to shoot down.
That's something that there are a lot of shows that are based in Miami.
Yeah,
but they don't shoot in
They don't.
Miami.
They don't
They
shoot in
pretend.
Miami.
So even Dexter, which is was
Dexter. Yep.
I never got into it too much till this year, and then because of the revival and stuff, and me and my girlfriend, she saw it already, and she was like, "Yeah, this is Miami." And then I looked it up, and only the 4 episodes were shot in Miami, but the rest are all in Long Beach.
Yeah, exactly. Most of it's shot there. So let's just let's get back to Jammers real quick.
Yes, sir.
So now you're filming currently, right?
Well, we're rehearsing. We start filming in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That's great.
Yep,
Congratulations, man.
Thank you,
Congratulations,
man.
because
it's right there.
there's nothing like rolling freaking camera, man. It's just like I know you're gonna have a great. I hope you guys, come back and check in with us and give us some updates on
that'd be super dope.
How you feeling, about it, because I actually also working on a project with Lexi, and she was on this project as well from day one. She's my day one.
Me a little bit about it.
And just to be able, groupie,
right?
Groupie, And I tell you this, dude, just being I remember every moment from when Lexi auditioned and sent a self-tape, and we met them in person, and right before the pandemic happened, and then it was like every moment, and all the way up to the point where we actually rolled camera with her character. It was it felt so good. I was almost, then Lexi don't know this, I was almost emotional. Like I was like, yo, this is so, I thought it would never happen.
She's so great.
And she's an excellent actor. She brings it every day, and leaves it all out there. So that's what that's what you got coming towards you.
And the first time I saw Lexi, she was her audition. I'm pretty sure you knew your lines by heart, and then I gave you a different role to audition with, and then you quickly just were highlighting, and I kind of looked at my buddy Evan, who was working on the project as well at the time, and I was like, damn, this girl already I come from theater, right? And so I did 4 years of theater at Miami-Dade College. Honestly, the best experience, and it was like the cheapest education I could have gotten, and it was the best, man. And so for me, hard work when it comes to an actor and their lines is so important to know that. And that's what stood out to me the most. It's like, damn, this girl knows her lines already, and she's just like she's like kind of just highlighting to make a cold read real quick. That's great.
Well, I'm gonna embarrass her a little more and say, I mean, I go even further than that. You're 100% right. But what stuck out to me was not just knowing her lines. What stuck out to me is that she reads the whole thing. Like, she reads action lines. Like, she pays attention to the entire scene.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And a lot of actors, no disrespect, but I've worked with so many different actors, and sometimes they only concentrate on their lines.
Well, that's absurd.
That's not to me. That's not good practice as an actor. You need to pay attention to the entire page. So read the action lines too if you're gonna act them out. So when she did her self-tape, she self-taped for I think 3 different auditions, roles, or whatever.
You had to go through the 3 different girls.
Yeah, 3 ones. And because I knew, like, when I saw her, I think it was on Backstage where I saw her, and I was just like, she has a very versatile look, so she could actually play any of these characters. So I was just like, let her. She auditioned for 3 different characters, and we settled on the one that we settled on because she really brought something to it. And the funny thing is, her character is like this, the rock and roll groupie. And everybody was like, all of my people that knew about the project. You got your people that know about the project before anyone else, and they're like, I always thought that character would be a white girl, and I was like, nah. I said, yo, she bought this, she bought it, and now everyone has bought into it, because now that they see like the little trailer we got with her and some of that, everyone's like, yo, and we just we threw the trailer up on YouTube, no real promotion. It's like it's closing in on the little trailer has like 8,000 views.
Amazing.
The other thing has over 10,000, and there are people leaving comments like really talking about how she did what she did. So, I mean, it's
Amazing.
just it's amazing. I'm very happy for you that you're getting ready to roll camera soon.
Yeah.
Because that is from filmmaker to filmmaker, brother. That is the best feeling ever.
Yeah, it is the best feeling. There's always this sense of like this a little bit sense of doom and gloom, like damn it, anything that Murphy's Law, right? Anything that can go wrong
Yeah,
will go
of
wrong,
course. Yeah, there's
And
gonna be challenges always.
always. But this is the first time that I truly have a crew that
Good.
I'm not paying, but my producing partner is paying them. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
and so every production I've ever done, I'm directing, I'm producing, and I'm also driving to my car to get everybody water bottles at the same
Yeah.
time. Like, you know what I mean?
know.
That's how it is. You know what I mean?
That's how it is, man. You gotta wear all the hats
You
because
gotta wear all the hats.
you gotta wear all the hats. But it'll pay off in the end, bro. I'm telling you. You get you. First of all, your crew will respect you even more.
No, my crew's the best, man. That's what I'm
They're
saying.
gonna
Like, I'm
always
so
respect you
blessed
and
to-
your cast because you letting them know this is passion. This is your project, right? So you have to, kind of like inspire everyone else to keep burning passion.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. And again, I can't emphasize enough on how great the cast has been. Like
Awesome.
very helpful. Like just being real. As an independent filmmaker, we're not paying them for rehearsals, but they
Right.
know how important the acting has to be and how important the blocking has to be. You know what I mean? Lexi is available at all times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
and even our protagonist has been very very available for that as well.
That's awesome.
Our protagonist Soul, she's in 36 scenes, so she's got the most scenes. But
Wow. That's what's up. Well, we're gonna have to get all of y'all back here once you get filming and rolling or whatever. We'll set up a day, and you could bring your cast on, man. Let y'all come
that'd
on.
be awesome. That would be awesome.
Let's
Seriously, I
kick
would
it,
love
man.
that.
Because this is about our show is about promoting people doing their thing, man. And I know that now. What's your background, brother? You like what's your like your heritage and that nationality?
Man, I was born in Ecuador, right?
Ecuador, okay.
Spanish.
So right out the gate, you're a minority filmmaker. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
We're always pushing that. You know what
I
I
think
mean?
right now our production manager is getting me some grants because of that, so that's pretty
Yes.
cool.
Hey, that's beautiful. Get it, man. Get all
and
of
then
it.
you can see my last name's all like not Hispanic looking, and that's my dad. My dad was born in Colombia to his Lebanese parents. He's Lebanese.
Nice.
So
Okay.
my real name's Ali, and then my middle name is Yusef, but I just go by AJ. Kind of like
Yeah.
JJ.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my background, and I got
That's
here
what's up,
immediately.
man.
I went from Ecuador to Miami. So this is very, like I wasn't born here, but it's been here my whole life.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So like I've said, once again, and independent filmmaker, minority filmmaker, we do our thing, man. And Real
Yeah,
Talk
man.
is a big promoter and supporter of people like yourself.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And this is what we do, man. I want you to take a moment, shout out whoever you want to, put your social media out there if you want to, promote, let people know, we, like I said, we know you're about to start filming, but let people know what it is, man, how to contact you, because like we said, we do, our demographic is the independent film world, so somebody may want to work with you. Hey, maybe another producer might hear this and want to jump on your project. I don't know. That would be dope. So let them know where to find you.
So you can find me at Otila_entertainment. That's OTILA_entertainment. But I would rather you go to the Jammers series page. You can find that at Jammers series or the series. I'm not sure, but if you follow Lexi, it's for sure going to come up.
Yeah.
I'm not. It would be great to get some followers, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, man, that's what it's about. So,
But I'm just not good
Lexi,
at these things,
jammers.
so I'm not sure if
Yeah, I
jammers
know.
is a
I know
show for
how it go.
jammers.
So, what is it? What is the social media, Lex? Do you know for
We are
jammers? Is there?
gonna we are gonna have it in 2 seconds.
Yeah, thank you,
Okay,
Lex.
cool.
Yeah,
Because I'll put it in
she's
the
so
chat room
helpful.
too. I'll put it up in the chat room so people can,
It is
you
called
know.
Official Jammers with a Z series.
Yeah. See, I'm just like
Okay.
It's just official, not the. It's just
I'm like
official.
a 40-year-old man on social media. 50-year-old man, but I'm 26, so I don't,
But you're just 50 on the social media
yeah,
tip. So, it's official. You said official
Yeah.
jammers
So
with
it
a
is
Z.
Official Jammers with a Z series.
yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
JAMMERZ.
ERZ.
Series.
Gotcha.
And if you play roller derby, you'll know what a jammer is. Um,
Okay.
and quick shout out to my producer Prashanth. He couldn't be here. He's working.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, this has all been so great because of the cast, but also the crew.
Yeah.
The DP Tabitha Mudra has been great. Our sound guy Lou's great. Like
Nice.
everybody, so great. And honestly, my girlfriend Alex has been so supportive of all of this. She's actually, even the reason all this is possible.
That's what's up.
You know how hard it is to get last minute actresses for free and stuff. And so she did the concept trailer that
Yeah.
originated all of this, so that
Yeah.
And then my
Awesome.
producer saw that and he was like, "Wow, what is this?" And I was like, "Well, this
Yeah.
is what it is, or whatever."
That's
But
dope.
yeah, definitely, you guys can reach out to Official Jammers series. This is definitely a project you guys will like. I really, really, really recommend. Just keeping up with our girls, seeing what they're up to. You could see them all from that page and see
Yeah.
as we go, shooting dates, rehearsals, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely I'm on it. I definitely appreciate you coming and
I
hanging with
appreciate you
us,
having me,
man.
brother. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir. And I'm gonna say this one time. We'll get back together and you could bring your cast on. And
Yeah, that'd be
I,
great.
I want you to come on after you roll camera. That's what I want.
That's what
Because I want
everything will be done
that's
in a
what I
month.
need. I need that because that is the best moment. And then you come on, bring your producer on, bring your cast, and let's have a nice segment and talk about jammers.
do
We can
it.
get more into the story.
That would be fantastic.
Perfect, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Before you go, I just want to say to both of you, you guys, because you were complimenting me earlier, you guys make it so easy to want to work hard. Like, you guys have both put forth projects, especially for me, that have spoke to me, that I believe in, that I love, that I cherish. And so it's like working hard for them and like putting in all the effort is so easy because you guys make it easy. You know what I mean? Like your energy, your work ethic, like the amount of effort that you put into every little line, every little detail makes me want to explore every little line and every little detail. So kudos to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good job. Yeah, man. All right, AJ, man. We'll get up with you, bro. Thank
All
you
right.
for coming
All right,
on.
thank you so much, you guys. Have a
Peace
good night.
out.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, so there you go. That was good. Good interview, man. I wish him all the best, man. It's I know we're in the grind. You know what I mean? And it's part of it. And now we have a common denominator, which is you, Lex. So, which is awesome. I didn't mean that embarrass you like that, but we do appreciate your work ethic and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's stuff, man. It's really getting, and the episode is looking amazing
So
too.
happy to hear you say that.
The episode is looking amazing too. I gotta tell you, you're gonna love it when it's coming together. It's almost done. Like your episode is almost done. So I've already started.
Oh my god.
Like I've already started solicited to film festivals and stuff. So
Oh
like
my god.
yeah, it's that far done almost. You know what I mean? Like, it's really close. Yeah. So it's cool.
Whoa.
So yeah, so we'll talk more about that off camera, I guess.
Yes, please.
But moving forward. So I'm just gonna continue a couple more trending topics, and then we'll get into the main topic.
Yes.
Um, so let me go back to the trendings. We did that. Oh, okay. So in spite of cancel culture, Netflix
Oh,
has announced four new Dave Chappelle comedies special. Yeah, I think at this point you hear the crow. They need to eat some crow. Uh, cancel culture. You're done.
thank
You
you.
can't
Finally.
cancel Dave Chappelle, man.
No,
You know
you
you
can't.
can't cancel a good man. This
No, you
dude this
can't.
dude does what he does, man. He's a professional, and he does what he does, man. Shout out to Geek Caster in the building. Yo, thank you, sir, for the shout out. Yeah. Anyhow, so let's talk Dave Chappelle. Now, Dave Chappelle, as we know, everybody knows that, it's been a whole thing with Dave Chappelle. They were trying to cancel him, and the cancel culture was coming for his neck because of what they thought was, transgender, and comments about transgenders and stuff like
Right.
that, and hate speech. They threw everything at him. You had Netflix employees walking out. You had people protesting and all types of nonsense. When Dave Chappelle, first of all, is a comedian,
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
you know,
Can we just
I
bottom line
mean,
right there? He's
yeah,
a
that
comedian, people.
he's a
That's what he
comedian.
does. What?
So,
Come
and it's
on.
just like the world is so sensitive. It's like
Yeah.
the comedians that I grew up on would explode the heads of every person today.
I
I'm
guarantee
talking
you,
Richard
some
Pryor and Eddie
okay.
Murphy.
Yes. I was gonna say
Yeah.
if somebody played a video of Richard Pryor today,
Oh
like
my God.
there would be a
People.
whole classroom of children crying.
Yeah, people's heads would literally explode. They'd be like, it's like what? Like, are you serious? George Carlin. These people are, but they're comedians. So it's just like I never understood, how people got offended by comedians.
Here's my
It's
thing. Listen, there's so much stuff on Netflix, on any streaming platform. You know what
yeah,
you can do if you don't want to see something?
you
Don't watch it.
can watch. Yeah,
Just
you
don't
can
watch
move
it.
on.
You have to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did anyone ever think about that?
Right? Come on,
How
guys.
about you
Just
just
don't watch
not
it.
watch it? But these people, they're like, so I don't
Right.
know. But I thought that's always a funny trending topic to talk
Right.
about.
Also, I want to highlight too. He wasn't being transphobic. In fact, I watched the special. He
Yeah.
gave a very beautiful story about a friend of his that
Yes.
was trans. Like that there was nothing
Hmm.
about that was in fact he did I mean I'm not trans so I cannot speak for the trans community, but in my opinion, just being who I am and from seeing it, he gave them a platform in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he shared a trans
He
story
did.
in a beautiful
He
way
did. A
with
very
being
beautiful way.
also a comedian at the same time. Like he balanced all of those things together,
Right.
So
And I love how like what you're saying. I love how when he's talked about the fact that this this transgender person, she was of his tribe,
mhm.
because she was a comedian at
Mhm.
heart, you know.
Mhm.
And that's why he say some of the jokes that he does, he knows she would laugh at because she gets it. She's a comedian. You can't. I mean, first of all, for you to be a trans person and showing that you got a sense of humor, you can laugh at yourself, or you already showing strength as a
Right.
person, right? So that was his way of respecting her by saying telling the story. And her
100%.
family is 100% behind him. They never had any issues with him, and they always said that he came to her defense when actually the trans community did not.
Right. And
So
I think
yeah,
from in the special, she was saying how the trans community turned against her.
they did.
Like, yeah,
They did.
you know,
They turned against her, and that's what I'm saying. So, and then had the nerve to go at Dave Chappelle,
right.
who a man who defended her, and they became friends, and he even tried to help her. He, like what he always does. These comedy specials, they're not all for Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle got, he helps other comedians.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does. So it's like here the first to be featured is Earthquake. He's a comedian. He's been around
Yeah.
forever. Earthquake's been around forever. Matter of fact, I don't even know. He's more like a trimmer now. He ain't an earthquake no more. He lost so much weight. He's like a trimmer.
That's hilarious.
He's not an earthquake, that's for sure. I mean, good for him, for his health and everything else. But Earthquake used to be huge. Earthquake, Earthquake, man, he lost a lot. I need to get on that Earthquake diet because he lost. I want to be a trimmer too.
I want to be a trimmer too. That's the
For
slogan.
real, that's the slogan. I want to be a trimmer too because I'm like I'm like a I don't know. I'm a volcano or something. I don't know. I need to be a trimmer. But so Earthquake is he's special. It's called Earthquake Legendary. That premieres this month on the 28th, February 28th. Then you have another one to spotlight Donnell Rawlings, and we know Donnell Rawlings is from Chappelle's show. Dave really catapulted Donnell's career from Chappelle's show.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in there. And then it says shared by Future Comics. They've been stand-up game from then. Then it says boom, boom, boom. Is there another one to talk about the other ones? Chappelle also performed a headline Hollywood Bowl. Yeah. Yeah. So he's got a couple other things coming too. But the bottom line is, I guess the bottom line is the cancel culture. I hope this bleeds over to other stuff too, because everyone talk about that cancel culture garbage. Dave Chappelle is a man who does a lot for his tribe of people, especially the community of comedy. He's taking the
Slightly off topic. What did you think about
Yeah.
the Joe Rogan thing?
Joe Joe Rogan. Yeah, Joe Rogan. I mean, it didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I know it's the type of dude he is, and to be
So
honest with
do
you,
you think
I
that
mean, I don't.
culture should work for him? Do you think so? Like,
I know it won't. They won't go after him, but I'm not gonna say if it should or not, but yeah, I mean, I just feel like I know they won't. They won't go after him. They probably should
yeah.
because of what he did, and
Yeah.
because there's two fronts on that, right? You got the racist thing that's blatant, right? And then you got the what's allegedly misinformation that he supposedly gave about like COVID and vaccines and whatever. Now that part is arguable because
Right.
nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. So even the CDC changes every freaking 5 minutes. So nobody knows what they're talking about. So
Right.
that's arguable about misinformation, right? But the blatant, the whole N word. What was like 12 minutes of him saying the N word?
I think you know what's even worse though is that I don't even think the worst part was him saying it, which that was horrible. I think the worst part was the anecdote that he gave, that little like short story, like comparing being in like a black area to like being around with like apes or something.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
crazy. He says I was going to see Planet of the Apes. We were going to see Planet of the Apes, and then we ended up in this neighborhood. We were freaking in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
He basically said he was in a black neighborhood.
That was disgusting.
And I'm just like, wow.
You really cannot redeem that statement. Like, there's nothing.
No, you can't.
Literally can't. Like, there's
You
nothing.
can't. Because then he tried to say with his little, it was taken out of context. So, now here's the deal with any cancel culture, whatever.
Yeah.
What really annoys me about it is it depends on what you're talking about. So
True.
now, if he would have said, you know, if he would have said something about a bunch of Jewish people, they would have canceled him.
Oh,
They would have been trying to pull him
that
off.
happens. Didn't that happen to Nick?
Anti-Semitic. Yeah, huh?
That happened to Nick Cannon, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Basically. And Nick Cannon did not even speak directly about Jewish people. Like he didn't say it, he was talking about something. All he simply said was black people are the original Hebrews. That's what he said. That's all he said. Now, if you are a historian and you do your your history, you may find that is true. But the bottom line is, oh no, he upset.
Right.
He upset him. So here's the deal. Joe Rogan says basically just compared black people to monkeys, to gorillas, or apes.
Exactly.
And he gets to say that it was taken out of context. What context are you trying to? Oh, it was all taken out of context. How is it taken out of context? And then what happens is, what context is okay? Exactly.
When was that ever okay?
Right, and then not only these are the two things that what happens when white people get caught saying the N-word. They say it's taken out of context. They say I'm not racist. They always say that. And if you have to say that you're not racist, you're probably racist. But anyway, they say that, and then they go, their bread and butter, their trump card, so to speak, is well, they say it all the time to each other. That's their thing. And that is their defense every time that they get caught saying something racist, right?
I just want to, you know what? Do you want to open like a history book real quick? Like, I don't know why it's not okay. Like, let's just go back to school.
It's so bad. But yeah, I think that I love what India Reed decided to do. She pulled her music and her podcast from Spotify. She's boycotting Spotify, to be honest with you.
I didn't even know that. That's
awesome. and but not only her, there's other people too that are actually like really like bigger than her, like that are for other reasons too, including his misinformation. So he's got a lot of he did get a lot of celebrities that are really like against him and stuff. I don't know what Spotify's gonna do. I mean, they're not gonna cancel his contract. And the main reason why India Reed did it, and we'll move on from this, but is number one, Spotify is built off of artists in the music, and the artists get paid percentages of a penny per stream, and they give, and then then Spotify is gonna turn around and give this clown $100 million contract. So you paying this dude over $100 million to basically, crap on people and be racist and do stupid things, and the artists who actually built Spotify are getting paid not pennies, percentages of pennies, of a penny. So if that's not insulting, I mean, come on. So yeah, that was cool. That was cool. You brought that up. That was Joe Rogan. Yeah, it didn't surprise me when I heard about it. I was like, Joe Rogan said something racist. Okay. Yeah, he's a conservative dude. And he just needs to, like I said, he's one of those dudes that says, hey, because he gets along with black people, he probably got a few black friends, maybe some black boots, a black dog. Wait a minute. He's probably like, hey, I love black people. I love black. I got a black dog. My dog is black. I got black boots.
Log off right now.
My wallet is black, and that's where I put my money. And you gonna tell me I don't like black? It's funny. It's just like, it's a shame, but that's what it is. It's like my cousin's best friend's uncle's nephew's daughter is black, and she was at my house cutting my grass.
She was at my house.
So anyway, speaking of black women, over at it says here, this article says, move over, Tyler Perry. A black woman will be owning a 135 multi-million dollar production studio in Atlanta. That's what's up. The woman, her name is
Tammy Williams.
Tammy Williams. Yes, Tammy Williams. Been in the business for over 25 years, film and television business. She has written, produced projects, things like that. Check out her IMDb. And then you got, so yeah, she's going to be building a big facility. How many acres it said? It was like, where is it at? Where is it at? Yeah, she's going to be building a facility out there in Atlanta. So right there, 130 from our studio production facility space in Atlanta.
That's so exciting.
That's awesome, man.
Like, and I'm not moving to Atlanta, like, and I'm an actor. Like, that's so exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome because Atlanta has obviously it's the new Hollywood, man. It's the East Coast Hollywood, and it's it's set even more. It sets up for people like yourself who actors and working actors. It's, the more studios, the better. So it's more work for you.
Absolutely, 100%. And
Tyler got it on lock over there, but she about to make her little move, which is good. I mean, let's not get it twisted. Tyler Perry is in his own stratosphere because he knows he's got all of the big stuff on lock. But there's plenty of space for others to eat, to take a little different approach. Tyler getting Marvel and Disney and all that. He's that's him. That's where everybody's going.
And I'm probably biased because I'm a black woman myself, but especially the fact that it's a black woman that is owning this, what is it, $135 million production studio. Like, anybody would be happy about that. You know what I mean? So 100%.
I agree. It's gonna be interesting. So, I mean, that's gonna be interesting to unfold, and we congratulate her, to making that happen. And I believe big things are coming. And speaking of Tyler Perry, so we have so Monique, actress, obviously Monique. Let me find that article.
I had it. I actually, can I be really candid? I love her. Like, I actually love her.
Yeah.
So
of course.
It was kind of heartbreaking to hear this story and like to read it. It's like, I actually love her. There was this movie that she did. I think it was called. Was it called Peaches? I'm not sure.
Precious, probably. You probably talking about Precious.
No.
Not Precious.
No.
Okay.
It was a movie where like I barely remember the premise, but like obviously she's like this bigger woman and she's trying to like find herself in the world, and like she wants to like date this guy and like blah blah blah, and like her whole life she's kind of been like dogged on because of the way that she looks, and so she finally kind of like finds her own, and I think she's like a hairstylist in it or something, or like a fashion designer. Anyways, when I was a kid, I would watch that movie like every day.
Really?
I literally. Let me see if I can find it really quick because I know I'm not crazy.
And that's what Gabrielle Sidibe, the girl that played Precious?
No, not her.
It wasn't Precious. She said it was called something else. Well, we got Precious. We know that she was in that, but and you said the.
Maybe hold on. I really hope I'm thinking of the right person right now.
That's funny.
I'll cry if I'm not. Oh, I'm right. It was called Hair Show. It wasn't called. Her name was Peaches. But the movie was called Hair Show.
Okay.
I freaking love that movie.
Hair Show.
Wow, that's funny.
I don't know.
Well, regardless, so she is.
Oh my God. It had Taraji P. Henson was in this movie as well. You guys should check it out.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I know a movie you don't know. I'm surprised.
A movie we don't know. Yeah, right. I'm like, huh?
It was 2004.
Okay. Wow. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
So Monique is basically sticking to her story, man. She's been talking about this for a while. It says here, Monique says Tyler Perry was behind her getting blackballed in Hollywood. And it says here, Monique called Tyler Perry up. She puts it in, oh, blah, blah, blah. Turn out, okay. It says here, according to Monique, she did a movie, Precious. We know that movie from Lee Daniels for $50,000 as an independent film. And he told her she would get 5% of the film.
Right.
Once the film went into the Sundance Film Festival, it got so much praise that Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey
Right.
got involved and became executive producers. Right? So Monique said when it came to do festivals and campaigns for the Oscar, she had a lot going on at the time, and she was not going to make Hollywood the priority. So it says, so when it came
Right.
time for campaigning for this awards, and when it came to different festivals promote, but you really campaigning for the awards. Well, I was in a position. I had the Monique show. I was doing the Queens of Comedy tour,
Right.
because you know Monique is a comedian. She said I had little babies and my third husband. So what I was not going to do was make Hollywood the priority. I've already done the movie. I don't need to campaign for you now and say I want to do this. I want this trophy. So then she said she feels she's done her part, right?
Right.
Now I'm gonna comment on that. So it says she said Oprah called her and offered to send her a private jet so she could attend one of the festivals.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'm in bed, blah 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 blah. And then she says, tell them I said I appreciate it, I love them, but I'm not going to able to do it. She said about 10 minutes later, she got a call from Lee Daniels. And he said, I told that bitch you didn't care about this.
I don't
Monique
believe that.
said, yeah, I don't believe that either. Monique said it wasn't that she didn't care about it, but she felt like she had already done her part. And it says here when the Hoodie Award came up, she had a meeting with Tyler Perry and security, and then she says, okay, so they have conversation basically when she said she didn't believe the figures that Tyler was throwing out. What was Tyler talking about? Listen, you may,
Right.
she said, you may want to campaign for this because it's get you nominated. Your next film will be $3 to $5 million. If you win it, your
Right.
next film, could be $5 to $8 million. And then she said she didn't believe the numbers. Monique said she told Tyler she cannot work for
According to
free.
her, I think he was trying to make
Yeah,
her work for free, like do these shows and these promos and all
yeah,
these like things for
yeah.
free. She was like,
Right,
I have my own life going on right now. Everything that you had already mentioned, like she said, she was
right.
like, I've done it. And then also her
Yeah,
thing too is that her contract was with Lee Daniels, right? It
yeah.
wasn't with Tyler Perry, so she felt like
Right,
she was being taken advantage of. So that was
right,
like her perspective on the whole thing. And
right,
then so because of that whole thing, like Tyler Perry like apparently talked to another director and was going behind her back and like bad mouthing her, according to her. This is all alleged.
right.
So
Yeah.
according to her, he was going behind her back and talking to other directors, saying like how difficult she was to work with and yada yada blah 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 because of the situation. So
Wow.
and
This is a very, very.
apparently Oprah, when Tyler Perry was doing this and it all came to light, Oprah didn't say anything, which like kind of upset Monique, which is what I got from the article. It like kind of upset her because it was like behind the scenes. According to Monique, Oprah had agreed
Right.
with like her and her husband about like staying back and kind of doing their own thing and not really focusing on Hollywood. So it, like that was a whole other thing too. It was like she felt like Oprah
Oh,
left her high and dry.
yeah.
Anything. So
I'm
This is
sorry.
this is
I'm sorry.
interesting.
I cannot take nothing that she can say about this particular incident can change my mind. Listen, It is an honor to be nominated for an Oscar.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's
It's
true.
not. It is not something that you, as an actress, anticipate or actor anticipate that is going to happen to you year after year. Every
Absolutely.
every single person that is nominated for an Oscar has gone to the lengths not only to promote the movie that they're in, they've done press tours, appearances, yada yada yada. Monique was saying, I believe that she said she had already scheduled out vacation time for her family. I understand that one. However, you cannot legitimately sit there and tell me that for something you did not anticipate happening, because I'm quite sure you did not anticipate that this is going to get me an Oscar. It's not. This is what you gotta do. This is Hollywood. This is part of your gig, right? So that whole thing, like, well, I had to take vacation, and everything else. Something unexpectedly came up. So if you had to delay your vacation a month because you had to run to do talk shows about this movie, which you're nominated for an Oscar, you had to do appearances for the movie, you had to do an Oscar. Just do it.
Yeah.
She
Just
got
do it.
nobody to blame for this than herself. You want to keep blaming Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. Next thing you know, you're gonna blame Lee Daniels and Rock Hudson and Joanne Fonda. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, I'm gonna say this now. When it comes to, I don't know what her contractual obligations was. Obviously, it wasn't a contractual obligation. They probably just threw it in there. Because if it was a contract obligation, she would have had to do it. But
I'm going to sit there and say that it probably wasn't, because once again, when you do a movie, you have no idea that the movie you do, that the role you're in that movie is going to be Oscar nominated.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, now don't get me wrong. I think some movies you go into it saying, I think that, like,
I
I'm
say
sure
festivals.
Leonardo.
Yeah, I would say like festivals. That should be. I would put that in the contract. Honestly, I would say, you have to, because I'm gonna tell you this from my personal experience. Working on a project we worked on before. There's situations even with Playing Dirty, where some of the actors or the main actor, didn't really do anything to promote the project, and we didn't put it in their contract that they had to. But I I learned from that going forward that, first of all, it shouldn't be something that we make you do, because this, like, when you're part of a project, when you're part of a film or anything like that, and you're, once again, I mean, obviously the being nominated for Oscars is a whole nother level, but even being invited to a prestigious film festival, like, you should be ready to show up, and even if it's just to show face, and it's just not a good look, because
No, it's not.
it's really not a good look. So, I mean, we did festivals with Playing Dirty, and our main actress never showed up to them, and it's like, you're on the poster, what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, you're on the poster, like, it's the whole thing, and it's like, to me, it's just a bad look. Now, in Monique's situation, when she's talking about some of the things that she's talking about, I understand where she's coming from, but you can't come at, if Oprah Winfrey calls you up, who is the executive producer of the movie that you're in, and says, hey, I'm going to send you a private jet. You know what that means? You could bring your family on that private jet. You could bring your husband, and you want to try to be funny. Oh, girl, I'm chilling. I'm laying in the bed with my husband eating Fritos. And it's just like, come on, man. Yo, we're trying to do something here. And what now, as far as her being blackballed and blaming Tyler Perry for that, I mean, I don't know. The bottom line is, yeah, you definitely burnt bridges with
I'm
that,
sorry.
and I don't know. I don't think blackballing people is the right thing to do. You know, yeah, but here's the deal: when you're dealing with people as powerful as that, They don't even have to really blackball you. People just, because so many people are so like cowed down to them anyway, they just don't want to deal with you because they don't want to. Like it's an unwritten thing, right? It's not like Tyler Perry picked up the phone and called everybody and said, "Don't work with Monique." That's not what happened. What happened was everyone assessed the situation. People know this real story behind the scenes, got everybody's perspective, and said, "You know what? We're gonna stay clear of her." Sometimes it's a shame. Sometimes people do that just because, no, she pissed off Tyler Perry. I want to be on Tyler Perry's good side. So, boom. Because let's face it, Tyler Perry has done a lot for a lot of people, right? And I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that this is how people think. So you can kind of get blackballed on your own without him picking up a literal phone and saying no one worked with Monique. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm sure he did
I
not
think
say that.
what makes it tricky though is that he is such a big name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like so from an actress perspective, I truly understand like both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a certain point where it's like, okay, if Oprah called me and was like, "Hey, honey, I'm gonna send you a private jet. Like, let's go," I'd be like, "Oh, okay, right now. Like,
Yeah.
let's go right now. Are you kidding me? Let's go, let's go." You know what I mean? Like, I would totally jump on that opportunity. But there's a difference between me and Monique, right? I'm a young, just starting actress. Like, I'm trying to get my name out there. Like, I'm bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Like, that's me. She's not, she's seasoned. She's been in this business. She's been through 3 husbands. She has a kid now. It's like she's in a different place in her life, and I can respect that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do I think that she should have made that decision? No, because I wouldn't have. But do I understand it? Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'm going to say it like this, right? The idea that Monique was blackballed because that's I can't believe that. I have a friend of mine that when Monique did the TV show VH1's Charm School, she was one of the girls on that show, and she said that Monique was very bitchy to the entire cast behind the scenes.
Whoa!
The entire cast, right? But from what you just said, Lex, about that part about Oprah Winfrey, I'm going to say like this: yes, you are a young actress coming up in the business. You have no idea right now, right? And this is where the parallel between you and Monique blurs. You have no idea right now if tomorrow you get put into a role, it comes out, and 6 months down the line, it could be your very first movie, and for some stroke of luck, you're nominated for an Oscar. Okay, you have no idea if you're ever going to get nominated again in your entire film career, if you're ever going to be in a project. Let me rephrase that. And not only are you in this small project, but because you've been recognized by your peers, not by the public, by your peers, this potentially could bump you into, let's say, a Marvel movie or a leading in film series, something. You have no idea. So you got to sit back and in Monique's defense, at this point in time, this is post Parker's. Right? She really didn't have a big run in movies and television since the Parkers came out. Now you got this juicy role, which really speaking, you're only in the movie for maybe about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. All right? I'm sorry. There is nothing you can say where Tyler Perry or Oprah Winfrey or Lee Daniels ask you to come out, because it's a different story if you already made the talk show rounds. Right?
Yeah.
And now you're nominated for an Oscar and they want to bring you back on. Maybe that one I can understand a little bit. But once again, they're having you come back on because you're nominated for an Oscar. So now this little independent role that you did is now big. Right? It's being embraced. And you're really going to sit there and say, you feel at your point in your career, hey, I gotta take a vacation, because I'm sitting here right now. I'm looking at her timeline of movies. So you needed a vacation from the movie Step in the Movie?
Yeah,
that's what you need a vacation.
I mean, on the same.
Sorry,
But on the same coin, though, it's like, what if she doesn't care about the Oscars? What if she doesn't want to win an
Right.
Oscar? What if this woman is tired? What if this one really just says, my mental
I mean,
health
it's right. It's very possible that she just doesn't care.
This is what she should have did, because nothing stopped Monique from saying, you know what, I want to withdraw my name from Oscar consideration. There's not one thing that stops her from doing that.
That's true.
She certainly appeared during the Oscar broadcast to grab her to get the Oscar. She certainly did that.
Yeah.
Right. So if she felt, I don't really care about the Oscars, it's no big deal, yada yada yada, then you should have withdrawn yourself from competition. And somebody else they could have put into that position that would have been honored to see the role. Because, like I said, once again,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this on the other side of it. Let's take it even from a regular standpoint. Okay, obviously, take Tyler Perry and all them out the equation. So Lex, as an actor, you're, let's just say, you're in a film. Obviously, hey, you're in Groupie. That's a project. It's not a, it's a series. But I just told you, I'm already starting to set up, film festival runs and stuff like that, right? So, and we already know your answer because you already said, I would go. You know what I mean?
Please,
but,
bring it to me.
Right, exactly. But see, and it seems like from her perspective, she was just kind of like also in something in her life, right? Maybe something in her life wasn't right at the moment, and she felt like she needed to give priority to her family or whatever, as opposed to quote unquote Hollywood. But you get a call from your executive producer or producer, director, whatever, and ask to make these runs. I feel and trying to be as selfless as possible saying this, I feel that each person should at least, especially if you're the lead or one of the people that's in the front runners, you should probably give, at least a minimum of something. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you right now, Lexi. When I do film festival runs, I try to do a lot of film festivals, right? I'm not going to expect you to go to all of them. Hell no.
I probably will, though.
You probably would. You probably show up to all of them, but I wouldn't expect you to. If we get it,
but the main ones,
the main ones, I'd be like, hey, listen, because you know what, what people, where Monique was missing it is, you helping yourself too.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're helping yourself too. It's you're representing yourself as well as the project, right? So you go in, boom, boom. I mean, it's nothing like having a person at a festival or any sort of thing that's in the film. I've done dozens of festivals, won a few, and I'm telling you, when my cast members show up, when you show up to a festival and show face and be involved, it helps you because all of these things are political too. It's politics, man. So like if you have a film in a festival and no one from your film shows up and represents, I mean, it's like showing to an empty theater. Like people are not going to know what to look for in your film. I go to a festival, I do the most important dates, the opening date, the opening night or whatever, because that's when you promote. That's when you have posters and flyers and tell them, hey, my film is screening at this time, this day. So people remember you. They come back. And then you do it again. The night of your screening, you show up, bring your cast. Because, festivals like that stuff, they talk to you, they interview you, things like that. They want it to be active. So, to just be like, I'm sitting back eating Cheetos, I'm not going, I can understand why anyone would be offended by that and be like, yo, we're putting I just offered to send you a private jet. We're putting a lot of money into this. And you're telling me you want to sit back and eat Cheetos with your husband in bed, but bring your ass on that damn jet and eat
That must
Cheetos
have been
with your
some damn
husband.
good Cheetos.
Yeah, so
It must have been some damn good Cheetos.
So
Sorry.
I have to. I think my final decision on this, unfortunately, is I really cannot feel bad for Monique, only because I feel that it could have been handled. She didn't have to. I understand where she's coming from, just like what you said, Lex. I respect the fact that whatever, she might have been going through something where it's like, I can't deal with this right now, but do it the right way. You know what I mean? And a festival run or a campaign going on talk shows, they're going to pay for you to do it. They weren't asking her to do it out of her own pocket. She's
Right.
saying she don't want to do stuff for free. But if you don't, is it really free if you're not losing any money? You still have something to gain from this. So how is it free? It's no money, but it's not free because you still gain something. You go on, to Tonight Show, you just gained however million viewers of you,
Right.
right? If you go on any of those shows to promote the movie because it's an Oscar run, you might have just gained more fans. So you gaining something. You're not losing anything. So it's not free. It isn't free. You're not doing it for free. So, but that's what it is, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you, right? And I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If Monique had went on and did all the stuff for Precious, how do we know she wouldn't be on the same level as Viola Davis?
Yeah, you never know.
Honestly, because now I'm not taking nothing away from Monique, but she was damn good in Precious. No doubt, she was damn good, and it showed in an entirely different side of her. We're used to Monique the Parkers, this comedic tone.
Yeah.
But now you brought this real deep, dramatic actress out of you from who knows where. You have no idea if that could have sprung you. Maybe that would have been you in Fences. Maybe that would have been you in maybe that would have propelled you into the role that she's playing in Suicide Squad. You have no idea, but you just thumbed your nose at it. And I'm sorry. I'm not a Hollywood actress. I'm not a Hollywood actor. But as an actor or actress, I think there are certain people within Hollywood that you just don't, that you have really need to be dying for you to sit there and tell them no. Tyler Perry, I'm gonna be honest with you. At that point in time, Tyler Perry was just a little bit into the the Medea stuff. Maybe you could say I can't make it. Oprah Winfrey, sorry, there's no way you sit there and tell Oprah Winfrey no, none. You on the black side of films, you don't tell Oprah Winfrey no. You don't tell Eddie Murphy no. You don't tell Jamie Foxx no. Right? There had better be a real good. You don't tell Spike Lee no. There had better be a real damn good reason. Why you're going to tell those type of people no. You don't tell Steven Spielberg no.
Right.
You don't tell.
Can I play devil's advocate here? Is a good reason just because you don't want to?
Well, if you don't want to, if you don't want to, you don't want to. I'm not. I agree. I mean, I'm not going to say.
I'm going to say it. No. No, I'm gonna tell. No, I'm gonna tell.
This woman just did not want that in her life. She just did not want whatever came with that, the Oscars and all the extra stuff. She did not want it. I feel that she felt that she was good where she was.
She just said she felt she did her job.
Okay,
she felt that she did her job. But for her to say that she don't want to do it for free just tells me that if they would have offered her money to do it, she would have did.
She would have said yes. And I'm sorry, I had to disagree with you. The answer to that question on my perspective is no. You still don't tell them no, that I don't want to do it, because why are you acting? Why? You know, if see what I'm saying? If somebody reaches out to you, right now, think. Wait a minute. Let me even put this better. Oprah Winfrey reaches out to you. You are not doing an audition. You're not coming in to read lines. That someone's actually contacting you say, we have a role for you that you will be perfect. And we want you. Oprah Winfrey want you, Lexi, in this movie.
Again, let's clarify. I would do it. Lexi would do it.
Okay, Lexi do it.
So,
right. But and that's it. And that's a good and that the point, whether it's you, whoever, if so and so town that has that kind of pull in Hollywood reaches to you personally,
right?
That's like if Oprah Winfrey would have came knocking on your door and said, "Hi," are you really gonna sit there and say, "Sorry, I'm not interested"? Because then my question is, then why are you doing this? Because is that not the role, the goal of any actor? Most actors, and I'm not an actor, but I would think most actors are not looking for critical acclaim. They're not looking for true box office financial success. They're looking for the work because it's about the work.
Right.
Unless Oprah came to you and handed you a script, if Oprah came to you, handed you a script, and you read the script, and you said, "You know what? This script is worse than Speed 2. It's garbage."
Right.
Then I could sit there and tell you, could sit there and say, "I can't do this."
But I don't want to do it.
But now, would Oprah Winfrey legitimately hand you a script to something that really, on paper, is so bad? Yeah. It's so no. Well, sorry.
I mean, but I think overall, I get what you're saying too, Ralph. You know, if you're really serious about this business and you're doing what you do, but like I said, you know, at the same time, I mean, I'm not above telling anybody no. But you know, I mean, I'm not. I don't care. I mean, me personally, but don't get it twisted. Now, you know, Quentin Tarantino come up to me and say, "Yo, I want you to direct this film."
Yes.
I want to. If you do that, if somebody got that kind of pull, and you're going to tell them no, I need you to videotape and then show it, and then you have better say. Wait a minute. I'm even though I'm saying. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason why you tell them no is because you got a bigger project that and it's a conflict.
Yeah,
it's a conflict.
Right. It's a conflict of interest. Or other than that, if Quentin could have called me last week when I was in the hospital with COVID, I'd have pulled that IV out my arm.
I'll be there tomorrow.
I'll be there tomorrow, bro. You gonna send me a jet? All right, cool.
And think about it. You're not even asking him what the movie about. Who's in the movie?
Nope.
You just,
right. I don't even care who's in it. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but yeah, it's all good though. You know, we'll see how that goes. So right before we get to the Oscars stuff, since we're talking about the Oscars, but right before that, we'll talk real quick. So Beyonce and Zendaya are set to team up and work on a remake of a classic film called Imitation of Life. So now, The Imitation of Life is a film that was done. Well, there was a remake done of it in 1959. I think the original might have been 1934. Right, very old. Right.
I will be right back. I use the bathroom, but keep going.
Right, that's fine. And, okay.
Sorry.
She said sorry.
No problem.
And then, yeah, right. No problem.
Nisha calling.
Yeah, right. So yeah, The Imitation of Life, 1934. Imitation of Life is remade in 1959. Oscar nominated, right? So we have that. Oh, we got a cameo by Lex's dog there. That's funny.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, right. So then we got. So it's basically because of the topic, right? The issues that was covered in that film. You know, stuff that they want to bring up and talk about, and it kind of fits today as well. So you have obviously that film, The Imitation of Life, was the film about the woman who had the black woman who had a mixed child who passed for white, right? Who could pass for white because of her fair skin. The woman came in and lived with a white woman, brought them in, and she was. I think the white woman was an actress, if I remember correctly. She was like an aspiring actress or something like that. She put. So basically, and it tackles things of race and colors, race, identity, stuff like that. These are all the things that are covered in this film. So Zendaya, more than likely Zendaya, I mean, obviously, it hasn't been confirmed if they're in the development stage right now. Beyonce, we don't know if Beyonce is going to be in the film. She definitely wants to produce the film, and Zendaya will more than likely play the character of was something Jane or something like that. What's the character's name? Let me see her name.
Is it going to be Lori or
No, it would be let me
or
bring up
Annie?
Imitation of Life real quick. Imitation of Life.
You mean
So
Sarah Jane? Sarah Jane?
Sarah Jane, yeah, that would be Zendaya character, I believe. Yeah, because you have Susie, who is the white woman who brings in the black woman, right? Then you have and the what you call it? What was the woman's name? Annie, I
What?
guess.
I see Laura, Annie,
Yeah,
and then Susie, age 16, and then Sarah Jane. Well, I
yeah,
guess Susie and Sarah. No, I guess Susie and Sarah Jane.
yeah.
Susie and Sarah Jane must be the same people because it says different ages. So I'm guessing maybe she changed the name for Susie just because it sounds so like Susie. Like that's not my name, so it was Sarah.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So it basically right here it says boom, 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 gender motherhood, which explores race, gender, and motherhood according to the Sun. The first remake in 1959, Oscar nominated, mentions awards, right. And it takes struggling, homeless, unemployed. Okay, tells the story of a widowed, aspiring white actor who takes in a struggling, homeless, unemployed African American widow whose mixed race daughter longs to be seen as white, right? So, and then it has here, it talks about, yeah. So, in Imitation of Life, the story is set in 1948. It introduces the widow mother's aspiring actor Laura, and then you have who is white. Then you have the deprived, homeless, unemployed Annie Johnson, who is black. And then the mothers of two young daughters meet at Coney Island before the Johnsons move in with the Merediths. Therefore, Annie looked after the house while Laura did auditions and roles. And then a decade later, Annie continues to maintain the house and Laura through a successful Broadway star, endures troubled relationship with a playwright and her daughter, okay, blah, 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 and her daughter, Sandra D, okay. And Annie's daughter, Sarah Jane. Yeah, so that would be, yeah. So Sarah Jane would be Zendaya's character because she's the one that is grappling with intense crisis, a light skinned teenager working as a showgirl and passing for white. So, they that's why you look on IMDb, it's got different ages because, they start off with them very young when she was brought in. But then, like 10 years later, she's out in the world and she's working like as a showgirl, but as a white showgirl because, she passes for, skin. So this is what, um, you would think Zendaya's, that would definitely be her character. If she was gonna, they take this on. Beyonce is not said to, even be interested in being in the film. She may end up being the mother, Zendaya's character's mother, because that character is clearly just a black woman. It's just the fact that the daughter's character, I guess she's a mixed race and she passes for white. So it's it should be interesting. Should be interesting to see. Zendaya is freaking red hot right now. She's, got Euphoria and she's killing it, and she's doing a lot of big things. So I'm looking forward to that being, something very interesting. I think we'll see. I don't
What if
want
she?
Beyonce
Wait,
in it.
wait. No, I'm just curious. I'm curious. If Beyonce is producing this, does Zendaya tell her no? I don't want to do
No,
this.
no, that's not gonna happen. Zendaya has already said that she's already said she's obsessed with Beyonce. When she worked with Beyonce on one of them videos a few years back, she said she was freaking out because she's obsessed with her. So back to the Oscars, right? So this is kind of like a topic of the night, and then we'll also go. I'll let Ralph go down a little bit of the list of the black card movies, but so the Oscars has some new COVID guidelines, right? That they have, which was very interesting to me, and I thought it'd be an interesting talking point. So, performers and presenters will not need to be vaccinated, but nominees and guests will, plus two negative tests. So, the Oscars. So basically, like I said, for people maybe you may not have understood because it sounds weird. So now, for this year's Oscars perform ceremony, you're only required to be vaccinated if you are a guest, like a nominee, and you. I'm figuring if you have to sit in the crowd the whole show, then they want you to be vaccinated because technically, I guess performers like they don't have to stay there all day. You know what I mean? Like the performers can come and perform and leave if they want to. And I assume presenters as well don't necessarily have to stay at the show the whole time because once you present, your job is over. So you can go exit stage left if you like. um, you know, so I guess that's why maybe they did it like that in order to not turn people away that they still want to get celebrities that may not be vaccinated or may not want to be vaccinated, but they don't want to alienate them from the show. It says here the Academy is inviting 2,500 people, which is 75% of the venue of a 3,300 capacity, right? The news comes the day after the unions extended, blah, blah, blah. They talk about unions and stuff. But basically, they're saying here, uh, no official word on whether today. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So these guidelines. So here's the deal. There's also different guidelines that's put in place in California when it comes to filming and events and stuff like that. Those guidelines kind of remain the same, but it doesn't apply here because this is not considered. I think they said this is not considered a like grand event or something like that.
What?
Something weird. Yeah, I don't know. I guess probably because of the capacity. It says here, as far as vaccinations, the rules for both TV productions and indoor public gatherings allow for their requirement. The updated protocols also redefine fully vaccinated as including a booster shot. So, several industry guilds this week confirmed that COVID protocols for their upcoming award shows. Last week, according to sources close to the event, it looked like the Academy had decided on not requiring vaccines or masks for those attending the Hollywood High, uh, Highland set ceremony on March 27th. While the Academy never officially confirmed or denied the policy, the backlash from the former. And remember, they caught backlash. A lot of these past few kids backlash, like these shows with everyone there with no mask on and stuff like that, and people are like, "What the hell?" So, bottom line is this: there's a whole bunch of other mumbo jumbo in there, but let's just break this down for a second. First of all, my question to both of you: do you understand what they're doing, and do you think it makes sense?
No.
No, not really.
No. All right. Here's my first question. My first question. So what they're saying is that you, as a presenter or a performer, you don't need to be vaccinated You don't need to be masked up. However, if you are a nominee, you need to have 2 consecutive negative tests. Now,
Yeah.
I'm just curious about this. I don't know if any of you ever watched the Oscars. I have. Even when
Yeah.
people are not nominated, like Jack Nicholson, don't they still walk the red carpet? Doesn't
They,
E still want to talk to him?
Yes.
yeah.
And
100%.
all he does, and usually he's the guy that does either best actor. No, I'm sorry, he usually does best picture.
Cool.
So are you going to sit there and tell Jack, hey, listen, you got to wait until it's your time? So you're going to sit in your car, in your limo, until it's time for you to come in, and then you can come in? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
that
think you're going to
does
do it.
beg that question though. It's like, so the ones that have to show the vaccination and the ones that don't, like, are they like separated from each other the whole time? Like,
Yeah, that's I don't know because, like I said, it's saying that if you're a performer or a presenter, you do not have to be vaccinated. However, they did say something about you will be subject to rigorous testing. Uh, they will be subject to still being tested, but they don't need to be vaccinated. I guess they feel this. Like I said, I'm trying to make sense of it because it doesn't make sense to me. I'm thinking they're feeling like if you're going to be in that room all day, you should be vaccinated. Because they also said they're not going to require the people up front to wear masks either. But if you're in the mezzanine area or things like that, about there you have to wear a mask. So I I know why that I know why they made that decision because I actually once upon a time I had a job and it was called seat filler. I was a seat filler one time for an award show, and so when you're a seat
Really?
filler, yeah, when you're a seat filler, you basically go. You got to be dressed in a tuxedo and or something like that, and you're just basically filling the seats. So if someone because the shot, they don't want to have a shot of the crowd with any empty seats. So what happens is someone leaves their seat to go present or go win an award. They're going to be backstage for a little while, so you have to go fill their seat. So they probably don't want
All right,
masks on
well,
people in the front for the reasons of shots. That's pretty much why.
all right. Now I got question number 2.
Mhm.
Once again, you just said that that people presenting don't need to have masks or don't need to be vaccinated, but people for getting the awards or not for awards that now, as you said, are sitting there all the show because you're not going to lead to the end. They
Yeah.
don't. They have to have to. What about the people that are playing the music? What about
I don't
them?
know. I don't know.
Right?
The
Because
orchestra,
now think
but the
about
orchestra has
think
their
about
own
this. The orchestra,
orchestra, and they said no masks required for cameras. Exactly. Um, the orchestra has their own little section too, though. Like the orchestra is
even
kind of like in
even,
its own little.
but see that's part of the problem. They're acting like if you're in close proximity of someone, that's the only way you're going to catch COVID. If I'm not mistaken, you're quicker to catch it in an enclosed environment. And if I'm not mistaken, the
Yeah.
Oscars are in the Kodak Center, or it used to be
Yeah.
the Kodak Theater. Used to
Yeah.
be. It's an enclosed environment.
It is.
Maybe that stance would be different if you did it in the Hollywood Bowl, which is open
Right.
air, but you're
Right.
doing it in a closed environment. So once it gets into the air, it's in the air. Whether you sit in the mezzanine, the balcony, the bathroom, the orchestra section, you can still catch it. Your chances are, don't get me wrong, the further away, your chance is lower. But here's the problem. Like Lex said, are you going to, people that are vaccinated are going to be in these aisles,
Mhm.
but then the people that are unvaccinated, you're going to have a big metal partition and everybody with it is in that section? Probably not. Probably not.
No. Nope.
Right?
I think the general consensus is they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's probably definitely I mean, it's like, why you even messing with this? Like, just make one rule and stick to it. They're afraid. They're afraid to alienate people. There's a lot of prominent celebrities that are not with vaccinating. Some
Right.
people, there's a lot that are, and there's a lot that are not. So they don't want to alienate anybody because they want to make sure that the show is the best it could be, and they got people out, and that's part of the prestige, right? Of the Oscars. So everyone's coming out, and you're seeing people that you haven't seen in years. And it's just like some people only come out for stuff like that.
Like Jack, like
Like
Jack
Jack,
Nicholson.
like Jack
Jack
Nicholson. You know
Nicholson.
what I mean? So yeah, Jack Nicholson. Like where the hell you
I
see him
can't
at
believe.
award shows? He
I'm
comes
sorry.
to the
Right. He
yeah.
cut. He cut. And I'm sorry. Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty,
Yeah,
Jane
Warren
Fonda.
Beatty, Jane Fonda, yeah. Annette
Who else?
Benning.
No,
Annette Benning. Annette
no,
Benning is
no,
usually
Annette.
with Beatty.
Yeah, but Annette Bening would come anyway. But she
Yeah,
would show it to other things.
yeah.
But
But you
like
barely some people that you just don't see showing up to these things, and Clint Eastwood. You know what I mean?
Barbara
He'll come.
Streisand.
Barbara Streisand. Like, you see these people,
Yeah,
so Clint. I guarantee you, Clint is anti-vax.
yeah.
I
I'm
guarantee
sure.
you that. I guarantee you, Clint Eastwood is anti-vax.
Dirty Harry was
So
like, "You can go take
yeah.
that vaccine and stick it up your ass."
Exactly. He don't care.
You know,
Screw
I'm
that
90 years
vaccine.
old.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
90
90.
years old.
I'm 90 years
Yo,
old.
that guy is wow. He's been around for a long time. But anyway, I know, right? But anyhow, I believe that this is gonna end up being a shit show. Yeah, I think it's gonna end up being a shit show behind when it's all said and done, because all of this stuff that's going on is just weird. It's just weird. It's just weird.
It just really makes on paper it makes a little bit of sense,
Right.
but realistically it makes no sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
No sense.
Yeah, realistically, it makes no sense. So wrapping it all up, Ralph. We talked about. We always talked about. We did it even last year. So we've been putting together this list of
And I keep
films.
expanding it.
Keep expanding it, right? We're putting together this list of films, right? That basically these are films that you should, if you haven't seen, maybe you should see in order to gain and or retain your quote unquote black card. Right?
I love this concept. Wait, what?
Exactly.
So yeah, right. In order for you to maintain or gain
Earn your black card.
Earn your black card, you have to at least explore seeing these movies. If you haven't seen them, they're out there and you need to see them. So
I'm so
Ralph, you compiled a very extensive list. As you say, it keeps growing. And what is just real quick, we won't take too much time on it, on the explanation, but what was some of your criteria that you decided, because I feel like this list should be, for us to say a black card, right? It should be something that impacted the culture in some way, shape, or form.
Agreed.
All right. It should be something that is, either it's a film that promoted or exhibited the black experience or the culture,
Agreed.
right? Or a film that was, this year we kind of added films that may not have been made for the black experience, but it was adapted. We embraced it. Yeah, we've embraced it. Perfect example, Scarface. Scarface was a film that was not made for the black culture, right? Not at all. Never was. But it was adapted through hip hop, through this, that, and it just became like, now it's on that list. Like, if you haven't seen Scarface, like, you don't have your black card. It's so weird, right? It's on that list now.
Exactly.
So
I also added my criteria, something that's generation, like your dad or your dad's dad saw you and they said, son, daughter, you need to watch the movie because of the impact it has showcasing us as people,
Right.
right? That is
Gotcha.
very important
That
because
is important. So culture, like real, like you said, family culture and heritage,
right,
stuff like that.
right. So I took all that into consideration and I compiled this list. And actually, I had a list, and then when me and Wes were talking, he said, "What about films that are not made for us, but we have adapted?" And I never gave that a whole bunch of thoughts. I didn't think about it, but then I started thinking. I said, "Yeah," and you know something? It may not, like in one case, it may not be the film. It may just been the person in the role.
Right.
And when I thought about it, I thought about Jerry Maguire.
Right.
Clearly, it's not made for Black culture. However,
Mm-hmm.
Cuba Gooding Jr.'s role in it,
Mm-hmm.
we as Black people take a lot from that, and there's a lot of people that will sit there saying, "Show me the money, show me
Right.
the money," you
Right.
know.
Right.
And I thought about it, I said, "Yes, yes."
Mm-hmm.
So for me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit there and say Jerry Maguire is a
It's one.
requirement.
Right. Right.
It's not.
Not.
But I will say it's highly recommended
Right.
that you should have seen it by now.
Right.
Right.
So now we started through the decades. You know, you got films from 1950s all the way to, to now, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a whole list, right?
It's a long list.
a
Now
long
I
list,
I
but
am going to sit there and say this. Okay, I did put it from decades. The ones from the 30s to 60s. If you have seen any one of those, I have here 13 films. If you have seen, I'm gonna beat you. If you have seen 4 of those films, in my book, you have earned your black card.
you've earned your black card.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they are not easy to find.
Yes.
They really aren't. They're
So
not
you're
easy to
talking
find.
like Sidney Poitier films, like In the Heat
I
of the
love
Night,
it.
or
Right.
guess who's coming to dinner, The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is one of the most important
Right.
black films in film history cinema.
And very
right?
and very few people. And matter of fact, in doing this list, I kind of found the
Directed
film
by
Porgy.
Gordon Parks, who is
Right.
a very Gordon Parks, black filmmaker, photographer, illustrator, whatever, and who actually eventually went on to make a more famous movie of black film, Shaft, right?
Yes, he did.
But The Learning Tree was something he did earlier. So I wanted to point out, because you when you talk about those heritage films, right? Like the film, these are the ones that we're talking about. Like the
Right.
any of the Sidney Poitier films, or Roots. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Now that one, when it came to Roots, because I said these are what you need to see in the black card. Now Roots, yes, you should have seen, but however, the only reason Roots is not on this list is because it was a TV made movie. That's the only reason, right? And I took that into consideration because when I was a little kid, and which I guess a lot of parents don't do today, I had a bedtime limit. It was like 8 o'clock. You had to do it. Roots came on at 9 o'clock, so I never had the chance to see it. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I had a time limit when I was a little kid of about 8 o'clock. When I got to about 12, 13, because I had school, it got pushed to 9 o'clock. The only night I could stay up late is because my mom used to watch Dynasty, and I used to hear it, and I got interested. And so she would let me watch Dynasty on Wednesday nights. That was anything after 9, never saw it. Like I never saw Eddie Murphy live on Saturday Night Live ever.
No, wow.
Because I had to be in bed. I've seen Eddie Murphy, but I never saw him when he first did it. I saw videotapes of it. So like Roots, the women of Bruce's Place, Tuskegee Airmen. These are things that came on television. Although yes, you should have seen them. I'm gonna add that stuff too. And in addition, with a list of TV shows that you should have watched at least a couple of episodes of.
Now I'm gonna say this. Now, Lex, did you get the list? Do you have the list? I emailed it to you.
Wait, was it like a separate email? I have.
Yeah, I sent that separate email. You'll be able to see, because I'm trying to see if I can screen share some of this list.
I have
just to kind of get.
Oh, I got it.
You got it. Okay, yeah. Just bring it up so you can see. I'm
Now,
trying to
now
see.
even the list that you have, like I said, that was the original list that I did.
Yeah.
But as I said, I have really expanded a whole lot more. Now it's a slide,
The
right?
big slider list. But
It's a
see,
slide.
so what I'm saying here, okay, so let's have a little fun and take a look at this list. I don't know now. A lot of this stuff we know you a younger generation, Lex, so you probably didn't see a lot of these films, but at least you get to learn something here. You might be able
Now
to.
I'm gonna. Okay, so for me, let's just sit there. I think it's more. Let's sit there and say that the list is 100 titles.
Right.
Okay. You need to have seen at least half. Half.
Oh, wow.
Half to get your black card.
Okay.
So am I
That's
not
tough.
See the thing to have the black card, it's an honor. It's like it's okay. It'd be the same way as saying, and I hate to bring this up, but in one of the movie chat rooms that I'm in on Facebook, there's a gentleman there that keeps posting these Mount Rushmore of films.
Right.
Like today, he posted Drew Barrymore. Okay. So he put, Drew Barrymore in E.T. and Charlie's Angels. But one of the movies that he didn't post is Never Been Kissed. It's probably beyond E.T. It's probably Drew Barrymore's most famous movie.
Right. Or maybe 50 First Dates.
I didn't see it. 50 First Dates.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it. Then how are you gonna post a Mount Rushmore? This gentleman has literally posted Mount Rushmores of people, and the thing they may have been Oscar nominated or their most famous film. Oh, I didn't see it. It's all looked like all you really posted was the most recent stuff or the most popular stuff, right?
Right.
Now,
so when it comes to this list, though, I'm thinking. So, for instance, right? Okay. So, Lexi, we're gonna use you because you're the youngest.
Even if you look at that list. Even if you look at the piece that you have there, stop. Even if you look at the piece that you have there, okay. Now Lexi is a young woman, but I'm guessing that she has at least seen Dreamgirls.
I've seen it.
Right, Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Seen it.
Ray.
Yeah. No. Yes. No, I did.
Okay.
I did.
I'm gonna.
I was very little.
Yes, I'm probably going to say Barbershop.
No, I have not seen that.
Okay.
Okay. Love and Basketball.
With Woody Harrelson? Is it that one? No.
No, that was White Men Can't Jump.
Sorry.
White Men Can't Jump.
Okay,
that's fine.
All right. Blade. You've never seen Blade? Oh,
nope. He's like, whoa.
Okay. All right. Juice.
I'm gonna say she hasn't seen Juice.
Oh wow.
I wouldn't have guessed Juice. I would guess.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say maybe Coming to America and The Color Purple.
I've seen The Color Purple. I have seen clips of Coming to America. I know it's an Eddie Murphy movie, but I haven't actually seen the whole thing.
Okay. And maybe a stretch here, Do the Right Thing.
No, I don't. Well, okay, what's it about? Maybe I don't recognize the title.
That's a Spike Lee movie.
Know.
You would know that one.
You would know if you saw it. Okay.
I know Get Out though. I saw Get Out.
Get Out. Okay.
Get Out is down here on the list. Get Out down here on the list.
That's on the list.
I mean, there are much more modern movies like Get Out. I have what else I got that's more recent.
Black
Panther.
12 years.
That's Black Panther. Creed. Girls Trip.
Yeah.
Why Girls Trip? Is like
Girls Trip.
Yeah. Wait, is that the one with Tiffany Haddish in it? Or am I?
Yes,
I think she is in that. Yeah.
It is? Okay, so why?
Probably. Yeah.
The question is why is that on the list?
Yeah.
Okay. Girls Trip on the list is because at this point in time, you've rarely seen a movie with an entire all-black female cast, right? And Waiting to Exhale, but it's a comedy. It's no different than if you ever saw the movie Bridesmaids with Kristen Wiig. It's just a different version of Bridesmaids, right? But it's a career defining movie of Tiffany Haddish. She should have been nominated for an Oscar for it. I don't care what nobody says. She should have been nominated for an Oscar for it.
Oh yeah. So there's some questions. They're like, no, Set It Off.
So
Set It Off got to be on here.
Set it off is on the list. But we're dealing with I'm talking smoothly now with the 2000s. I probably would say that Lex has seen straight. Well, I hope you have seen Straight Outta Compton, right?
Straight Outta Compton.
And since we were,
she's like, no, she's just.
Wow.
I haven't seen it, but I know all about it. I know that it's a story with like Ice Cube and like the whole thing, and his son plays him. Like I know it. I
just didn't watch it.
Well, then I took into consideration what Wes said about a film that wasn't made for us, but we embrace it. So for that purpose, in the 2000s, I added the Fast and the Furious.
Right.
That one, I think it.
I've seen that.
Yeah, not all of them, but specifically because all of them are just sequels. But the original one, that wasn't meant for us, but we just took it and embraced it. So okay, and there's a couple of one like maybe you saw Django Unchained. Maybe. And I see I'm looking at you, so I'm saying maybe you might have saw Beyond the Lights.
Beyond the Lights was good.
No, but like I said, that this is much more recent stuff. Even if I go back in 2000, in 2000s, I'm like 2000s. Maybe you saw 8 Mile.
Right.
See, you're knocking my. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Someone brought this up too. Gone with the Wind. They said it's Gone with the Wind.
No,
this is what they said. He said Gone with the Wind, first Black Academy Award winner ever.
Yes, it is. However, although Gone with the Wind does have the first person nominated and winning an Academy Award, does it really speak to the Black culture? I don't see how, because she's a slave. And it's not the fact that she was a slave and was trying to get her people to freedom.
Right.
She was just the slave. I mean, it's not really about her at all. It's really about Brett and Scarlett.
Right. Exactly. I understand why they asked though, because of the Oscar factor of it.
For that fact,
being a pivotal moment in Black cinema, for Black cinema, not Black cinema, but for Black actors, I guess.
Now, Joseph, I'm looking at the timeline. You're asking no Rosewood. Rosewood is on my list. Now, the other two, Something New or Guess Who. Realistically speaking, for me, Guess Who was a remake. We've seen that version, so it's not like it's something original.
Guess Who is the remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner,
right? And the same thing with Something Wild. It's we've seen that before. It is a part of Black films, no doubt about it. But is it really hitting something new? No. Rosewood, on the other hand, Rosewood is on that list. Is on my list.
Guys, I just want to say my iPad's at 5%. So if I I'm so sorry.
Not a problem. We're gonna be wrapping up in a second anyway. Right. What I want to do now that you have this list, Lexi,
yes,
and I'm still working on it. It's not finished.
These are films. I want you to start back. Let's go back into the old days. Listen, I'm gonna highlight a couple of them for you real quick. That are super important when we talk about those heritage films, or those films that's just so important to
certainly Shaft, the original Shaft. I'm also gonna sit
by the way, I have seen Superfly and I love that movie.
wait, hold it.
She probably saw the remake.
Which version?
She definitely had to see the remake of it.
She saw the remake.
But at least she saw it.
No, wait.
Yes.
Hold on. The one where what's his name does the soundtrack, because I'm obsessed with him.
That's the remake.
That's the remake.
Okay, then I remake. Never mind.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. It's
Okay.
something.
Okay.
But
There's a couple of them on here. Shaft, I would say, is one. I would also say A Soldier's Story.
yes,
Most
A Soldier
definitely.
Story.
That's yes.
Purple Rain.
Denzel Washington. Purple Rain. Uh, Definitely. I would say Sparkle.
Yes.
Sparkle.
Right.
What
Waiting
No,
to
else
you
we got
exhale.
guys.
coming?
Wait, I saw the 1972 version. The
Well,
super
all
fun
right.
1972 version, yeah. And what's his name does the soundtrack? Curtis Mayfield.
Curtis Mayfield. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's get.
All right. Okay. All right.
Let's get that girl some applause. She saw the original joint. There we go.
I just might have to make you a black. I just might have to make you a black card. And think about it for anybody out there that's watching the show. If you legitimately have seen 50 of these movies off this list, right? Hit me up on Facebook or Twitter, and I will make you a black card. Black card is not now. Listen. The black card which you have in it, it is not going to give you access to unlimited movies at Regal or AMC.
But you
It's
have
not.
it. It just shows. Yeah.
It's just showing like, I'm down with the culture.
But another thing, real quick, Lexi, I'm gonna add a couple more that's in the '90s if you haven't seen it. Waiting to Exhale, definitely.
I haven't seen it.
And I would say Set It Off because
Definitely Set It Off.
Set It Off was, all female cast, black. That was basically, I mean, you definitely got to see that. It's actually it's good research for you based on the type of roles you're playing right now in the series.
Yeah.
So
Okay, wait a
it's
minute.
actually good research for you because they're pretty badass in this one. It's I won't give it away for you. Just check
Especially
it out.
Dana.
Dana?
Dana.
Well, that's Queen
once again,
Latifah.
Latifah. I
Queen
can call her
Latifah.
Dana. But once again, career-defining role.
Yeah, for Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah.
I love
that
Queen
starts
Latifah.
Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett, Vivica Fox. They're all in this, and it's a
Kimberly
classic.
Elise,
You
Blair
gotta see it.
Underwood. I'm
Yeah,
also
of
going to
course.
sit there. I'm also going to sit there and say, just from this where Wes has it at, you need to see Friday.
Oh yeah.
Friday.
1995.
Oh, you gotta see Friday.
The original, the first Bad Boys with Will Smith
I've
and Martin
seen
Lawrence.
Bad Boys. I have seen that. I've definitely
All right.
Okay.
And
You got
I'm also going to sit there and say The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
But more so because you're an actress, I would tell you certainly watch Hollywood Shuffle.
Hollywood Shuffle. You have to see the Hollywood Shuffle because that is so important for actors to watch this because it's so real. Like it's so important film. Yeah, Robert Townsend. So I don't want you to definitely mark those down. You got the list. We'll send you some more, but check them out and make sure you get back to us and let us know what you think of these films because right now as an actor, I always tell you, I mean, I'm not an actor, but I tell actors, the best thing you could do is watch films and study your craft.
Yeah,
That's one of the best things you could do.
Admittedly, it's something I should I'm so studious and I'm very much so I love the work part of it, but the watching movies part of it, that's one area I could definitely work on. I have not seen really as many movies as I should have, for sure.
Right. Now, Lewis, you asked the question: is Monster Ball really the kind of film that presented Black women in the best light?
So that's Halle Berry, right?
That's what Halle Berry.
Yeah,
that is a very interesting question. So you have Halle Berry in a role where she played a struggling mother to a young boy who not only has to deal with the death of her baby's father, but then the death of her child. Mm-hmm. But she falls for a white man. If you take out,
I don't even know if she actually falls for him. It's just like he was there.
He was there.
He was there, and he
right.
She had an itch, and he scratched it.
Right.
That's pretty.
But I'm gonna sit there and say this: if you remove the sex out of the equation, and just base it on the role that Halle Berry played, then the answer to that question is yes. Because how many women do we know or have friends of that is a single mother to a young child that maybe has a man in jail and she has to still live her life?
Right.
So the answer to that question would be yes. But see, people want to judge Halle Berry on that movie because of the sex scene. That's the
Right.
only reason. But you got to take away the sex scene. You got to look at the role itself.
Right. Look at the role
Because
itself.
because if
And
she if
then,
she would have did the role and there was no sex scene, now to answer to analyze your question, if she would have did the role and there was no sex scene, could she still have won an Oscar? I'm gonna sit there and say yes. She
I'd say
still could
so.
have won an
Yes.
Oscar.
I said she still could have won it because she definitely peeled back the layers of that role,
No
and
doubt.
it was a very complex character behind it, and so I can see her still take the sexy. I mean, because they have a cut, they got cuts of it that's not as raunchy and this and it. Take the sex scene out. I think she still has an opportunity to win that. Everyone's gonna say no. A lot of people went against it, but I agree. I can agree there. But that was a good question though that
Yeah,
they asked.
because
Um,
I would equate that to, if we want to take a white world, Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct.
in Basic
If
Instinct,
you
yeah.
take out the sex stuff of her in Basic Instinct,
Mhm.
is the character Catherine Tremell any less dangerous?
No.
No, she's not.
No, she's not. Right. She's still very dangerous. She's still very mysterious,
Manipulative.
complex. It's still a very good character,
Yeah,
even without the sex. That's what I tell people all
she
the time.
she
We
is still
yeah.
she can still manipulate sex, but she uses sex for her as
Mhm.
the ultimate weapon.
Weapon. Yeah.
I'm gonna lure you in with the sex, but
Like
once
a
I
Black
got you,
Widow.
once I
Like a
exactly
Black Widow spider.
once I got you under my spell, that's it.
I
That's
got you. I
that's
got
it.
control. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. So what we'll do is, we're continuing these. Each week we're gonna talk about a little more of these cards. We're actually the Black Card films. We wanted to do it all. We've been doing it all month for Black History Month, right? So we got one more month. We got one more month, one more Monday in Black History Month, right? Do we have one more left?
We have 1 more week.
Yes, one more Monday.
Yeah, next week.
And Joseph, not for nothing, but you said I forgot the suicide of Heath Ledger. That doesn't impact Halle Berry's character. That impacts Billy Bob Thornton's character.
Right.
It doesn't have anything to do with Halle Berry's character
Doesn't
whatsoever.
impact, right. Doesn't impact her character. So, Lex, we appreciate you joining us again. It was very fun as usual.
Thank
You,
you.
definitely, we'll probably have you back again soon because we'll bring your cast back on
Yes.
for Jammers, and shout out your social media, of course. Let everybody know where they can find you before your battery dies.
It went up 1%. I'm at 3 again. I was at 2%. But anyways, my Instagram is at LEXC and then the letter C again, ALDERON. So Lexi Calderon. And then I just made a TikTok, but I don't remember the username.
You just did what?
I just made a TikTok, but I'm like so new at it. I barely know.
Okay. Well, everybody get to see you. Yeah, everyone follow her at Lexi Calderon on Instagram, and then from there, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on again, and we'll get at you soon. I'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure to be on. I love you guys. I love being on here. I love talking about film. I'm an actor, so I love it all.
Yeah. Perfect. Have a good night now.
All right. Good night, you guys.
Good night.
Yay, yeah. So okay, cool, man. That's pretty much
That's Lexi Calderon.
Yeah. It's Lex. Yeah, let me put the thing back up on the screen.
Yeah, I'm
Lex C and then Calderon. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm following you now.
Following now. Yeah. Go follow her on Instagram. She is she's a fun person to follow too because she puts up nice little do. She does. She used to do lives. She's probably too busy now to be doing a bunch of lives, but she's pretty good follow. Has fun. She brings you into her world because she does a lot of modeling and a lot of acting and stuff. So cool. Follow her. You might get to see some behind the scenes of Jammers, which is she's going to be. I thought the premise of that was pretty interesting. So I think I can't wait to see what they do and bring them back up here. So next week we'll continue with this list. I want to spend more time on it next week and break it down a little more and really explain to people why you should see this film if you haven't already. Especially the younger generation, people like from Lexi's generation and millennials, and some of these films that just completely flew over their heads, and they have no interest in watching them. But
they're good.
very
they're
important.
good movies.
Yeah, they're
very
movies.
good movies, and you should watch them.
And you should watch them, but I can't stress it enough.
Even just from the standpoint, from the performances that they do, you should still watch the film. Like I'm looking here and I'm looking at the 90s. All right. Should you watch the film Higher Learning? Yeah.
Of course.
Yes. Right.
Of course.
You know.
Higher Learning. I mean, like those. I mean, any of those films from the 90s, just Boys in the Hood. Any of those films, man. Like you have to. It's a must. If it happened in the 80s, 90s, and you talking about Spike Lee or Singleton or any of those filmmakers, you got to see these films. I'm sorry,
right.
You got.
There's just some movies for whatever reason that there really is just no excuse as to why, if you are a true film fan, why you haven't looked at it. I mean, I think you'd be very hard pressed, especially now. Okay, especially now in this age where we are no longer in movies just on video, theatrical, videotape, and cable. Now you have streaming. You have such a huge way of seeing stuff which you may have missed, but you might have heard. So, like when I said that she said she never saw Juice, right? A little shocking, but that's something you can rectify because
that's funny that she saw Superfly,
right?
But she never seen Juice.
The original,
it's like she saw the original Superfly because she said I love Curtis Mayfield,
right?
And he did the soundtrack. Yes, he did. And I'm just like, wow. I just want to point out real quick. Lewis had a comment and said, I wish more people would have these types of discussions. Black cinema history is always appreciated. Well, we appreciate you saying that because we really would love to. This type of stuff is great to talk about. We could do an entire show on this. We did like segments. We could do an entire show. We could do a whole month of shows on this. And really break down.
Matter of fact, today I was in New York City, and I had to go to the bathroom, so I stopped in Barnes and Nobles, right? And I stopped and I said, "No, I'm gonna use the bathroom." Like, you know what? Do they even still do Entertainment Weekly magazine? Because I love Entertainment Weekly magazine. Yeah. So I saw that the new issue has 3 girls from that show Bridgerton on. But when I was getting ready to go upstairs, they actually had a magazine, Entertainment Weekly. It was a special that says the history of Black cinema. And I was like, whoa. I gotta go grab it before it goes away. Because I just started thumbing through it, right? And I'm looking at how they got it done. And realistically speaking, you would think that my list is copied from that magazine. It's not. It really isn't. No. But they just thumbing through it. They were covering a lot of things, a lot of movies that I put down in the list that say, and so now you got a secondary source saying this is what you should have seen. This is what you should have seen because of the role, the cast, the motif, or the plot line. This is something that you should see because it relates to you, right? So something like Blade, you may say, well, Blade don't relate to me because I ain't got superpowers. I can't generate. But think about that for a second. This black man is playing a he's a superhero that really could be a bad guy, but he's a
Yeah,
superhero.
he's a
He
superhero. Yeah.
he's trying to control it and taking the powers that he has for good. So could we
Yeah.
not say that's the same? That would be the same thing as with beyond regenerative powers, Batman,
Yeah.
Green
Right.
Arrow,
Exactly.
uh, hell, I don't know, uh, Black
And
Panther.
right, yeah, right. And I'm gonna say this before we end the show. So far the poll that I had up there, it didn't have a million votes or nothing, but the poll was basically if anyone's feeling if you like the new series Bel Air, right? Either yes, no, or it's okay. So far, some people said no. 62% said no. Not a bunch of votes yet, but we'll see. I'm gonna leave the poll up and see where it goes. Now, I'm just gonna say this before we go. The Bel Air series, to me, and I posted this on a Facebook page. I think it's a true standalone. I think it's a hit, to be honest with you, and it's a standalone hit. The show is very, which was written and directed by Morgan Cooper. We all know the success story behind it. The man had the idea to reimagine one of his favorite shows in a dramatic fashion of it. He did a proof of concept trailer that he made. It went viral. It caught Will Smith's attention, and here we are now on Peacock, and the show is there. I'm gonna say this without spending too much time on it. We'll talk more about it next week. Um, I think the show is well written. I think it was well directed. As acting is good in it, and presented very well. The characters. I'm gonna do a video that we'll put up on the IE network. Uh, Compare and contrast between the characters, the original characters, and the characters here, because it is a big dynamic. And even like the Carlton character, like they peeled back some layers for this character, man. Like it goes deeper than what he's just not this privileged sellout dude, right? It's just it goes deeper than that. Like he's got some real dark issues going on with him, with that involves anxiety and then he's sniffing coke and all types of stuff. It's like wow, and you're like Carlton sniffing coke, yeah. And everyone got to go into this with that. You got to get the Fresh Prince out your mind, man, because this brings this gives you perspective of what actually could have happened on the sitcom, because they did tackle certain issues on the sitcom as well. They just did it from a comedy standpoint, right? So this stuff still it did happen. Obviously in the show they don't put emphasis on the fight. They make fun of it. A little fight in the basketball court, and then I got one little fight, my mom got scared, right? So but in this shows you this was life or death, bro. Like this dude had it all at his feet pretty much as a basketball star. Let the hood stuff get to him, get the better of him, which put him in a position, well, actually put himself in a position where his entire life could have been ruined, either by him going to jail or getting murdered. And it's like it was that serious. The first couple episodes, you see, like, wow, this dude. And so it brings perspective as to why he's in the Bel Air. And it really just showed how Uncle Phil, who obviously is still a legal guy or whatever, and pulled strings to basically get him out of jail. It also shows in a big light of how much money the Banks family has. Like they are really rich in this show. It's just like in the sitcom, you knew they were rich in the house and the set and all that stuff, but it was still gave you that impression that they were like, they were rich, wealthy. But this is like gives you the impression of like generational wealth rich, like in this show. And the contrast of the characters, starting from Will on down, I think it's very well placed and written, and I give them credit. I'm gonna follow this show every week, and I'm gonna start bringing some more insight on it. So we'll see. So anyway, that's the show for tonight. We thank everybody that came through. Lewis, thanks for jumping and chiming in. Some good insight in the chat room. Uh, Joseph, you always hold us down, and we appreciate you. Thank you for being active as usual and engaging. Everyone, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit the
Share.
notification button. Share this with your friends. Share this link.
We do a good show. We do a good show,
man. Share the link. You can talk about stuff. And if you got some topics, hit us up, man. We're on Facebook, Real Talk. Hit us up and let us know, let's talk about this. What about that? We're going to start bringing some people on too. I'm trying to get Winsome Sinclair back on to talk about casting and, because I really want to talk about casting roles, like especially when it comes to casting Black actors, right? And what type of, not obligation, but what type of things do you look for? And do you feel compelled to, when it comes to casting certain types of people, whether it's race, ethnicity, or gender, or whatever, do you feel pressure to have to cast a certain person? Do you have to put a Black person in this film? Does it have to be a gay person in this film? Does it have to be like? I want to talk about that.
That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying?
Because well, I would say, do you feel like if you're casting this movie,
right?
Do you get to the point where you feel like I gotta put a Black person in it, but then they're just like quote unquote the token Black, like they really don't have like significance. They're just there because we live in a society like I think that's one of the things we all say about Friends. Like, how the hell you live in New York City, but there's no Black people ever in that coffee shop? but then you cast one person, what's her name, Gabrielle Union, to show up. So she's in one episode, but the rest of the time there's no other Black people that ever set foot into this coffee shop. I was in New York City today. Every single place I went to, there's some Black people walking around. Friends. I don't know if you noticed, and it's Midtown New York, Chinatown. Harlem.
So I think that'll be cool, and if we can get Winsome on, who is casting director extraordinaire, to get her insight on it, I think that would really, really drive the show. But either way, we'll talk about it either way. Thanks everybody.
Wait, before we go, we gotta give somebody a shout out because she is in our series Playing Dirty. Nicole Renee, congratulations on you being pregnant and it looks like you're about to drop pretty soon. So shout out to you. I was stunned when I saw that. I was like, whoa. But congratulations.
Shout out to Nicole. Shout out Nikki, man. She doing she's gonna be
doing big things.
Very, very, very soon going to be having
Mama
congratulations.
Nikki.
Yep. Yeah. Congratulations. All right, cool. We're out. Peace, everybody.
Deuces.